And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the summer blockbuster fight of the summer. To my right, in the blue corner, weighing in at the nuclear weight of 15 megatons, Mark Nuclear Sheridan.
That's me.
In the left corner. In the red corner.
This is a disaster.
No.
Who scripted this?
In the pink corner.
Oh.
Weighing in at 500 Ken dolls. The returning Paropod guest, Liam Gay Timberland.
Just a side swipe in there. Just threw it in.
I feel
just a stray.
Yeah, see, I was already a bit confused because I feel like 500 Ken dolls wouldn't weigh that much.
5 million
I was
Ken
thinking about that as
dolls.
well. Like how much would a single Ken doll weigh?
Certainly.
Let's get that up.
Well, Jamie,
Let's
pull
get
it up.
that up.
How much does I'll just say a Barbie doll.
A Barbie doll. Well, Ken doll, Barbie doll is different
I'm
dimensions.
sure they more or less weigh the same. A Barbie doll weighs.
How much does it weigh?
Okay, at 5'9".
5'9".
What is the average weight of a Barbie? 7.25 ounces.
I don't know what an ounce is.
I want grams.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how many
7.25 ounces
one meal.
by 500 is 3,625 ounce to kg.
I gotta say, this is a brutal introduction to the show.
Liam, I'm telling you now, there has been worse.
Let him cook.
3,000 ounces.
100
kilos.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. That is actually that's
Don't
that's
doubt
kind of
me.
you kind of overestimated though.
I did overestimate.
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
you did.
Okay.
But
I apologize. I just needed a fact check.
listen,
This man, he scripted everything he just
We're
said.
talking about-
He
we're talking
knows.
about-
He already fact checked it before we
we're talking
started
about
this recording.
Listen, do you know what the worst thing is? In the shower, I planned how I was going to do this. It did not come out like this. My microphone being too loud has fucked me up. I'm off my game here.
You do all your planning in the nude in general.
In general, yes. My best thoughts do come to me whilst naked.
He's actually recording butt naked right now.
Yeah,
My dick is out.
yeah, that's part of the pod.
It's part of the pod.
There's no
It's
jokes
part
in
of
here.
the pre-game. You know, you gotta think about what you're gonna
You
do.
get naked, you play chicken, improv in the shower,
Mm-hmm.
you know, group showers, and then we start recording.
What do you guys think about in the shower?
Kind of like how one day we won't be able to have showers anymore. You know,
What the
What?
fuck are
Rather
you
than,
talking about?
talking about?
Like really existential thoughts of dread,
Oh God!
mainly. Sorry.
Pull down the microphone just a little bit.
Oh, it's coming in grand, I think.
No, I can see that. There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
Apologies. Existential dread.
Yes. Yeah. I actually, this is not the first time you have talked about showers before, because as a loyal Paropod fan, I recall like the first 12 minutes of an episode was Owen talking about why cold showers were good.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, we did that.
Listen, bro, I have been on a variety of health kicks this year. I have recently bought nose strips to keep my mouth. Okay, I've
What
been
are-
on
what
a
are they? What are
journey
they?
about trying to have good sleep because I'm a big, awful mouth breather. I have gone through a head strap, which I put on the podcast one time and Mark saw. It looks like a gimp mask.
Yeah, the gimp mask.
I have since moved on from that to just mouth tape. Does not work. And so I am now using a combination of mouth tape and nose strips. The nose strips go onto the bridge of your nose and they pull up, making your nose like slightly pull up, so it opens up your nostrils. They kind of work. The best thing was the head strap, but that head strap
It was used and abused.
that thing looks like a ward in an orgy. Like, like that thing is in fucking. I had to throw it out. That thing was bits.
What do the mouth strips do? How do they operate?
They just keep your mouth closed.
Really?
Like there's literally just tape over your mouth. That's all that it is.
That's
Nice.
an image. Just owning like a gimp mask with tape over his
The
mouth.
gimp mask is
And then
gone.
a strap on his nose.
I no longer have the gimp mask.
Have the results been good?
The head strap, yeah. Jeez, the head strap is actually proper good. The head strap actually worked. That is the only thing so far that I have found worked for me.
Why'd you get a new one?
Because the one that I bought was from Shein, so I don't want to order from Shein all the time. I want to get a fucking head strap that lasts 2 weeks.
Get one from Arnott's.
Maybe that's what I need to do. I just need to up the pay for this. But I've invested in a lot of tape. I think I need to use these straps and tapes first. Before...
A lifetime
This man
supply.
owns so much duct tape.
I own a lot of nose and mouth breathing apparatuses at the moment.
I think this is what Christopher Nolan would have wanted, a podcast about his 3-hour epic.
Yeah, well,
You still ignored our invite.
talking about sleep,
Yeah, it's like Inception, man.
Or insomnia. That guy loves sleep.
You're on a.
Insomnia. Yeah.
Okay,
It's a deep cut.
We're not going to get on to Barbie and Oppenheimer yet, but Liam, you're on a current Christopher Nolan binge, I believe.
I am. I'm about halfway through, I think. I've seen from Following to The Prestige.
What is Following? Is that any use?
Yeah, Following's his debut, so it's pretty good. It's only like 70 minutes long, so it's kind of like Stalker. I think one of a Fern Paropod favorite. Am I right in saying that?
Stalker,
Stalker. Good shit.
A film I haven't seen, just that it's about stalking. So basically,
Okay, Liam. Okay, Liam. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't think The Following, or whatever the film's called, is like Stalker.
I know.
It's-
I remember listening. It was an early Paropod episode when you discussed it, and that's meant to be like a really heavy, gross film.
Stalker.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No.
It's heavy, yeah.
It's heavy, but it's not gross.
It's like science fiction.
There's like no. I don't think there's any violence in it.
No, it's not violent at all.
Okay, well, this has nothing to do with Following. So basically, Christopher Nolan, this is the main character, who's like, this film has like no one famous in it. He's this guy who decides he's gonna follow people around the streets, and then someone notices him following and reveals that he's a follower as well. So what he does is he goes into people's houses to
Feels
look.
like he stepped it up a little bit further than the OG guy. I feel like there's a difference between following someone around and then
Yeah.
escalating into getting
Yeah.
into their
So
gaff.
like so he's like, they go into people's houses and they slightly mess around with it. And it's pretty much that for an hour. I have a fun Christopher Nolan fact, but I don't know when you want me to reveal it. I don't know, do you know about
Is it that he is a registered
good guy? We're not going back to my David.
It's
my
about,
David
it's about his
Arquette.
brother.
It's about his brother. Do
Yeah.
you know this?
Oh, I read about this. Yeah,
hold
yeah.
on. I
crazy.
vaguely know what this is.
Yeah, let's talk about that now.
I'm getting it up, but from
Wait, hold on. I'm
my
going to
notes-
try and remember what it was because I've heard something about his brother before. Is his brother like a spy or something?
His
like
brother's an international fugitive.
He's a
fugitive.
suspected hitman.
A hitman. I wasn't far off at spy.
Yeah, he's a suspected hitman accused of a murder of a U.S. financier in Costa Rica in 2005 and was caught trying to escape from a Chicago jail as he faced extradition. Extradition?
Extradition, yeah.
Yeah.
Edition.
I like this article has in brackets, you'll never guess his fake name.
His fake name.
Yeah, but
Oh,
they
is it like?
have a-
Oh,
Is it
Bruce
is it,
Wayne.
Is it Cobb?
Yeah,
well, actually,
yeah.
the guy, actually, that's what I meant to say. In Following, one of the main characters is also called Cobb.
Oh, really?
Ah.
That's
Yeah,
gas.
which is pretty surprising.
Is there a Murph in it as well?
There's no Murph.
What's
There's
Matthew
no Murph.
McConaughey's name in Interstellar?
Murph.
No, that's his
What's
daughter.
his second name?
Yeah, Murph was the surname, no?
Yeah, no, but like Murph is the little girl.
Yeah, what was his first name? I actually can't remember.
No idea.
Yeah.
You're
Chris.
gonna have to stall here while I.
No, yeah, that's okay.
Oh, actually, this is crazy.
Ah.
His name was Matthew McCall Oppenheimer,
Oh, that's
Ah,
hilarious.
yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It kind of makes you rethink. Like Prestige came out around that time.
Yeah, that
Yeah, it's
was
escape.
06.
It's all about escape.
Mm.
Escapologists or whatever. This guy literally escaping from the law. It's Christopher Nolan's brother. Kind of makes you rethink a lot of his output around that time.
Have you?
It's not
seen-
brothers. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, have you seen any of his early works pre-Batman?
I haven't seen. I've seen Memento. I've never seen Following, and I haven't seen Insomnia.
Yeah, so
I think they're the
I'm
only
saying.
Nolan films I haven't seen.
Memento comes straight after Following, and like the leap is crazy.
Yeah, well, even like because most people, I guess you would consider Memento his first feature length film.
It is. It is.
Memento's a mad film to be your first film. Like to be your like first one that people really like. Because we were talking about M. Night Shyamalan like a few weeks ago. Like there were people like, oh, Sixth Sense, crazy like debut.
It's not his debut.
It's like his fourth film.
He has two, because actually before Nolan I did I stopped halfway through as well, but I did an M Night binge.
I feel like Nolan binge is a lot easier to get through.
Yeah, the Nolan one I'm having fun with. Like M Night's first film is a student one about him going to India, and his second one is oddly a family comedy set in a Catholic school.
Yeah, we were looking at the poster for that. It was fucking wild.
Brutal film, awful.
Yeah,
but the interesting thing about Nolan's first films, because I never saw Memento. I actually didn't see any of his pre-Batman Begins films until last week, and he was gonna be like the noir guy, like he seemed like he had his own genre. Like Memento, Insomnia, I'm following are all very similar films. Insomnia's kind of I thought was better than Memento, which is a piping hot take.
Yeah, that is piping
that is
hot.
a pipe. I think that's a very hot take. My question is, okay, so like obviously with Nolan, outside of, I'm gonna say outside of Oppenheimer, there's a gimmick to every single one of his films. What is there a gimmick in Insomnia, or is it just like a straight up detective?
Insomnia is a remake of, I think it's European anyway. I think it's Swedish. So there's no real.
It's like those. It's like a Danish film or something.
Yeah. And I actually thought it was great. Now it's a real dad film.
Oh yeah,
like it's his most dad film. So it's like the only gimmick is that the town that they're in. Because I always thought the film was just that he's a detective.
I can guess what that. It's always bright.
It is always bright. Yeah.
Wait, what?
You think it's gonna be that like Al Pacino can't sleep, which he can't, but it's because there's no nighttime in the town that he's in.
Why?
It's just something to do with the time.
I know. Have you ever seen that film?
It's like Supernatural or something.
No, it's in like
it's just always bright.
No, you know those fucking places like in Iceland and stuff like that. Like it's just bright at certain times of the year all the time.
Yeah, but like they still manage to sleep.
Yeah, no, but if you've insomnia on top of that, Mark,
yeah, then you're in a bad spot.
You
are in a bad spot.
The most interesting thing about Insomnia, though, is that like I don't know, have you seen it? But I don't want to give it away. But if you know anything about the movie, it gives away the like.
Is one of them the killer?
Well, you don't meet one of the characters who's on the poster and second building to the cast until an hour into the movie.
Oh Jesus!
So it's one of those, but it's also it's pretty interesting. Al Pacino's good.
Al Pacino, yeah.
It's Al Pacino and Robin Williams.
Oh yeah,
that sounds great.
I don't know why I thought Mel Gibson was in this film.
No, he hasn't worked with Nolan.
I don't think he will.
Oh yeah,
he was in Daddy's Home too. There's got to be a pathway there somewhere.
He'll be back.
But I'm really interested because I know you are very stern with your takes. Like up until this year, this man Owen beside me did not like Star Wars.
Now look at me.
Yeah, what happened, man?
But now look at me. I got a baby Yoda in my room.
Sold out.
It feels like, and you're not MCU people either, and it feels like maybe outside of Tarantino that like Nolan is like the popularized cinema auteur. So, as people who don't like popular things, what are your thoughts about Christopher Nolan pre-Oppenheimer?
I think he's great. I think we spoke about it before. He's like, his films like try. I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel like his films always try to do something in a way that like he doesn't maybe have the faculties to go as far as he wants to, or maybe he can't. Because I don't know, maybe he's limited, both by the studio system and maybe like his own talents or whatever. But he's not just churning out whatever has been told to him by the producers.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually trying to like blend something in there. And for ages, he was kind of like I remember we talked about it before as well. How he kind of had this reputation as like a guy who's very like very kind of
robotic.
Robotic, like kind of a Kubrick style director. Is more focused on the technical aspects of a story and of a production. But like a lot of his stuff isn't really like that. And I seen that more and more with when I rewatched Interstellar this year, and then with Oppenheimer, and even going back to Inception, stuff like that. He's fairly well-rounded, I think. And in terms of like popular directors, I think he's way up there, as far as that goes.
I would absolutely agree. I think that we end up being really negative because we talk about Interstellar, and I think a lot of It's hard.
It's silly.
It's hard when people like Interstellar is like, you know, greatest film of the 21st century and stuff like that. It's like, come on,
Who says that?
come off that. Like people are like top 10 films
Yeah,
of the 21st century. Like
The
Interstellar
Shawshank Redemption,
is
Inception.
in that list. And it's like, come on.
I haven't
Phil, like,
actually
Yeah.
seen Interstellar. It's only one of his films I've yet to see. And if I have, I was intoxicated when I have seen it. But
I think with Nolan, he's a real film bro director.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's hard to be like overly positive with him because it's like because a lot of his film. I think that like Dark Knight Rises is legit dog shit.
bad movie.
I think Tenet.
It's a bad movie.
Bro, you literally we
It's
talked.
not dog shit.
We
but yeah,
talked
it's
about
deeply
Dark
flawed.
Knight. We talked about Dark Knight Rises on this podcast, and we shat on it for 30 minutes. And the market then goes, "It's not that bad though."
It's
What do you
fun.
like about? It's not fun.
Bane's a great villain. Even though he has no motivations, it's like what he does makes no sense.
You can't
It's-
hear him.
And then
you can't.
and he's not the
yeah,
real villain
true,
anyway,
true.
so it doesn't matter. So
That opening scene is one of the most unintentionally funny shit scenes of all time. It's so bad. The whole Aiden Gillen CIA, a plane falling apart midair, the blood transfusion as the plane is crashing. It's so ridiculous, but I
and
think
the ending
it's
is
a fun movie.
terrible,
It is. Yeah, the ending is also shit.
and
as
everything
well.
to do with the cops is awful.
Yeah, the whole politics behind it as
And
well.
nuking
is
Gotham
very
is
bad.
fucking
So-
dumb.
Yeah.
So far, you've only listed negatives of like the actual story.
It's fun.
And Mark
though.
even brought up something that I never even noticed, which is like and we always talk about like, you know, Nolan is a real like, you know, technical director. It's a scene where Batman is chasing people at night. They go into a tunnel, and when they come out, it's pitch black. There's a bit where he's chasing people after the Wall Street bit,
Oh yeah.
and they go into a tunnel, and when they come out of the tunnel, it's midnight.
It was a long tunnel.
It's a very long tunnel.
They have a good metro
Um,
system there.
So I never even noticed that, and Mark gave me another reason to dislike that film because now when I see that scene, I'll never be able to unsee it.
Yeah.
And then so I also think Tenet was one of the middest films I've ever fucking seen.
I like
Yeah,
Tenet.
yeah.
I'm a Tenet guy.
Oh no,
I'm
not
a
at
Tenet
all.
guy.
I thought it was alright. I wouldn't, but like, you know the way, like, I enjoy Dark Knight Rises. It's not a good film, but like, it's kind of fun to watch. Tenet, I like enjoyed it, but I didn't have a lot of fun watching it. You know, I don't think it was
No.
a terrible film though. It was kind of, I wouldn't really watch it again, to be honest.
And then, but like I love Inception. I think Inception,
It's
like
great. Yeah.
Banger.
like mild spoilers, very mild spoilers.
It came out in like 2009.
No. For this podcast, I thought Inception was Nolan's best film.
Bomb dropped.
And then, and I obviously love Dark Knight. I really liked Dunkirk when I watched it, but I haven't seen it since I've seen it in the cinema. Batman Begins it's decent.
I think it's very good.
It's not. It's good. Like it's not.
Mm.
I'm just talking. You know, in the grand scheme, because at that time as well, you had like
Yeah.
the Raimi trilogy,
Oh god,
which
yeah.
may have
Can't compete.
shot the bed in the last bit, but you know, whatever. Like I think that like most of his films are at least good, if not slightly overrated.
I don't think outside of Dark Knight Rises, he's made an outright bad film. I think that's the only one I would say. I wouldn't vouch for.
No, but and even like with Interstellar, I think the second act of Interstellar is like the best thing that Nolan's ever made until he actually made a decent 3-act film. But no, like I think the first Nolan film I saw, or like the first film that I knew who Nolan was Inception, because I don't think I knew. I remember like being like, that film's what, 2010.
Yeah, something like that.
So I got that film on DVD for Christmas and watching it and being like, I didn't understand the film at all. At like
Yeah.
11 years old, and then watching it again, I'm like, oh, it's actually really not that complicated. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was like after the film ended, I was thinking about it. At my 11-year-old self, I was like, it wasn't that confusing. I just think that Inception's like one of the best like actiony blockbuster films.
And with Film Bros, you have done Batman recently-ish.
Yeah, we did it last year.
Mm.
Do you like Dark Knight?
Yeah,
Because it's funny if you still look at stuff like
I don't think it's like the best film ever
Yeah,
made
that's
or
what I
anything
was gonna
like
say.
that.
Like, if it's probably in IMDb's like top 5 films.
A load of bollocks.
ever.
Yeah.
Insane.
It's a great
insane
film.
takes.
Great
yeah, I
film,
think
though.
it is too.
But like Heath Ledger makes it though.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't even with the Ben like. You remember like around the time everyone's like, "Oh, he died," so I was like, "Oh, what a
Yeah.
great performance." But even looking back now, it's been what 15 years,
Mhm.
and it's like I watched it maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago, just maybe at the end of COVID, and he actually does just if you take him out of that film, the film doesn't work to the
Well,
same
yeah,
extent at
or
all.
Mark, they do take him out of that film. The film ends up having a pretty poor ending.
The ending isn't great as well.
I disagree.
Didn't really like the ending. Yeah,
I'm
I-
a big Aaron Eckhart fan.
Do you know the thing as well? Is that I really
I like his work.
I really
Two-Face.
like
love
his
Aaron
whole
Eckhart.
arc in that film as well.
That one, huh?
I really like his arc in the film as well. I just don't like.
Two-Face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like everything until the end.
Yeah.
I like it. He just go like in fairness, like the guy has half a face. He'd be going a bit loopy.
Yeah, but it's the scene
I
with
am-
Gordon and stuff like that. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And again, like, I also think that Nolan can be like very unsubtle.
Well, he buys into his own bullshit.
He does, and he's like that whole stuff is like they need to do. I'm the hero that they need, not that they want, and all that fucking whatever the fuck that line is at the end of the film.
Mm.
It's like so unbelievably on the nose. And again, I think when you get to something like nuclear war, it's okay if you're not going to be subtle about your takes on nuclear war.
Mm.
Would you have preferred if Batman said that his iconic line during a sex scene? That was a foreshadowing.
Yeah.
No one understood that reference.
sorry,
and
I was-
it got off.
But
I
they
was
will
like-
in the future.
They
It's like
will.
Tenet.
Yeah, they will.
No, sorry, when you said that, I was like, Batman had sex?
No, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. But no, yeah, the ending Dark Knight though. It's I think the whole monologue is great though. You know?
Mm.
With Gary Oldman's like, oh, he's the hero we need, we don't deserve, you know. He's driving out. I think that's amazing.
I think
It's
it's
a great
as
ending in my opinion.
Sick and cool as it was when I was
Yeah.
like 8 watching it in the cinema.
That is one thing,
I
because... Sorry, go on.
I agree, but the Harvey Dent thing, fuck him, he was shit. Just keep the Joker. Should have been the Joker, and that's
Nah.
it. Harvey Dent, fade into the background, maybe you get a third movie, and you can be the star of that.
He's
He's
better.
too busy.
He's better than Ra's al Ghul and Bane.
Ra's al Ghul was also shy.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul.
Bane was cool. I like Bane, you know?
Liam, or Mark, what's the best Batman film?
The best, like, out of all of them,
Out of every Batman film?
The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah, fair, yeah.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
easily,
it
yeah.
is.
It has
Easily.
to be.
Some people,
Some contrarians will say, "Oh, it's actually Batman, the Batman, Tim Burton's Batman." Fuck off. Come on.
Tim Burton's Batman is not a very good movie.
I wasn't a huge
Batman
fan of that, yeah.
Returns
Good film.
is very
Yeah.
good, though.
I don't remember. What happened to that one?
That was the Penguin one. With the
Oh,
cat-
Danny
the
DeVito, Penguin.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
It just keeps committing so many crimes with being a little devil.
yeah.
He's a pervy man on it.
Yeah.
And because my family were watching The Batman recently. I watched Malignant while they were watching that, because I was like, I'm not watching that 3 year long film again. I don't know if I'd like that film as much on rewatch. Just the bits I was watching.
The Batman.
Yeah, the Batman.
The Batman. It's because
From
it
last
falls
year.
apart in the third act.
Yeah.
Totally falls apart.
I was like, what? Looking at it in the corner of my eye, I was like, and afterwards they're like, it's a bit confusing. I was like, yeah, it is a bit confusing because they keep mentioning characters that are not established in the film at all. Like the main gangster dude, he's not in the film at all.
No, I think that film it's great, but it doesn't have a pinch on like Dark Knight.
Nah.
I would say like it's from a technical point, it's better than Batman Begins, but I probably would rather stick on Batman Begins
Yeah.
than
Mm.
like I've seen the Batman twice, and when I watched it the first time, I was like, I felt like it was just overhyped for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I rewatched, I had the exact same feelings that I do think it is too slow and like it's missing a villain.
It is. It is. It is also way too slow. It's like
And the bit where
there's
he
no
puts
need
the
for that film
gunk
to be
in him.
3 hours.
The
Remember?
gunk.
He puts like steroids on himself.
I
like
actually
the
unironically love that.
Oh,
He
actually, I
takes
can't remember
steroids
that.
and he just gets up and starts beating the shit out of that
He gets
dude.
some goo.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
good
Good
stuff.
stuff.
Okay, so we've been talking about Christopher Nolan. We've been discussing him for about 20 minutes. I think we should talk about Barbie.
Yes, let's cut to the chase. Barbie, Greta Gerwig's Barbie. It's been out, what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, yeah. The whole Barbenheimer phenomenon. I didn't think that would actually materialize in real life.
I didn't think.
I
I
had
thought
no
that was
idea.
pure.
I thought it was just memes.
I thought it was memes, but there we go. We discussed this before about memes as a form of marketing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work all the time though, because it was just the Morbin time, but done. But it's not even done right. It just worked.
The films are actually good.
I think it's just because it's like Morbin time was that it was a shit film and no one wanted to go fucking see it. Whereas like people were legitimately excited to see both films, and it's also hilarious that it was like, again, a Christopher Nolan film bro director. His 3-hour-long war epic is coming out the same day as Barbie.
yeah, it is funny. It's a funny contrast,
Did either of you do both of them?
God,
on
no.
day? No, I don't either.
I know loads of people who did. I don't know how you could. Like, I seen Oppenheimer last night. It came out of it. I was like, I'm fit for bed. I hadn't even done anything yesterday. You know, I was like, I want to go to bed straight away.
I can't imagine that's actually a good double bill.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people who did it, but like I'd never heard anyone come back and say, "Oh, it was great."
If
the whole idea of doing it as a single event is a good idea. I don't think it is at all.
If you did Barbie first, then I would be like, yeah, that sounds like a fun double bill, but I can't imagine wanting to, like, not even from a tiredness level. I just can't imagine sticking on another movie after Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
It's also like,
yeah.
I also think like with Oppenheimer and actually also Barbie as well, you need to think about them afterwards. Like they have a lot of stuff that you need to kind of like sit back and kind of like reflect on and think about. Like I was thinking about Oppenheimer for like a full day before I was like, I'm gonna write this on Letterboxd.
You've been thinking about the patriarchy for
No,
hours.
For the last 2 weeks.
Man.
2 weeks. Can't stop thinking about it.
Barbie, all that Barbie has me thinking about is just Ken. I just
What a honk, yeah.
yeah. So I saw Barbie first, and then a week later I saw Oppenheimer.
And
I was thinking about Barbie for a full week. I was thinking about the
non-stop.
I swear to God, that "I'm Just Ken" song is going to be my number 1 song on Spotify this year.
It is a low-key good song as well.
It's great.
It's great.
And it's kind of similar to Christopher Nolan. Like, I feel like Greta Gerwig is fast on her way. Well, she probably is now, like, one of the most recognizable names. And with directors these days, outside of Gerwig and like 2010s directors, you have Gerwig, Peele, and maybe like, I don't know, Ari Aster to a lesser degree that people would actually know. But did you like Gerwig's films? Like,
I don't think
I've ever seen a Greta Gerwig film.
That's
so bad.
I saw Lady Bird. I was gonna say Lady Bug.
I saw Lady.
I saw Lady. I saw Lady Bird. And I was like, that is one of the most overhyped films I've ever seen.
Oh, come on.
I didn't think much of
I'm sorry
Lady
you
Bird.
couldn't relate to the coming of age story about the teenage girl.
I'm sorry too.
What else did she direct? Little Women, Lady Bird.
And she has
She did
another
Frances
film.
Ha?
Sorry?
She do Frances Ha.
She
Or does that Noah
wrote
Baumbach?
it. Noah directed it. But I watched her first film that no one knows about that came out in 2008. And she co-directed it with a guy called Joe Swanberg. It's called...
Great director. Mumblecore and all.
This is
Yeah.
Mumblecore. And it's called... it's either Weekends on Nights or Nights on Weekends. I don't remember which one. And it was shit. It was like softcore porn, but with like 20-minute conversations that went nowhere.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, she's actually kind of disowned it to an extent. Like, she doesn't mention it in interviews when she's talking about her first movie.
It's very far removed from that scene now. Ty West was in that and all as well.
Jeez, especially if you look at Barbie, like...
Yeah. And they're like, he's gone down the horror route. Joe Swanberg, I don't even know what he's doing, but he had a few good movies in the early 2010s.
It's Nights and Weekends.
I have seen that man naked more than myself. That man is always getting nude.
Oh, to be fair, she actually only has done Nights and Weekends, Little Women, Barbie, and Lady Bird.
That's
it.
This is her fourth film.
I've never seen a Greta Gerwig film until I seen Barbie.
Well, I think going into this, I was nervous because I'm a big Gerwig fan. I think Little Women and Lady Bird are both perfect. So like, shit. If this isn't good, I'm gonna be very upset. And it is.
It is.
Turns out it is good. Yeah, it's good.
Let's go.
We won't. I'm not gonna. We'll ask once we go through Oppenheimer. We'll talk about which film did we all prefer.
Yeah.
But I think as well, like, It's very difficult to. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the comparisons leading up to the films because the films are not similar whatsoever.
Yeah.
I would like going into the films. I was like, more excited for Barbie because I kind of knew what to expect from Oppenheimer. Like
you'd been spoiled in history
yeah,
class.
it's full of history. I was like, it's gonna be a film about boo-hoo, I made a bomb, war is bad.
Yeah.
Whereas with Barbie, I didn't know a fucking single thing about what that film was. When she actually goes to the real world, I was like, what the fuck is it? And like everything to do with like Barbie Land and how it's depicted, and the Mattel stuff in the film, and specifically Will Ferrell. I didn't see any of that shit coming.
Yeah, I had no idea he'd be in it, and he's great.
A
so
rare,
funny.
good modern Will Ferrell performance.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
start
true.
Barbieheimer or our Barbie talk by talking about just how good Will Ferrell is.
Yeah, and Ryan Gosling was so
Gosling.
good in this.
Simu Liu. There's just so many good performances.
Can I say something that's like vaguely
Yes,
controversial? Or not even controversial.
that's what we're here for.
I think it's real bad that everyone coming out of Barbie is like, man, Ryan Gosling's amazing. No one's talking
That's
about
what. That was my first reaction as well. I was like, wow, Ryan Gosling stole the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, should I reflect on that?
Yeah, I like that's
but he did. He did.
That's part of the thing I was thinking about. I was like, I can't believe that the best thing in the Barbie movie was Ken. I feel
Yeah.
awful. I feel awful about that. But like,
It's a showy performance.
it's a very, and it's also like Margot Robbie is fantastic in the film, but she's not. Like, it's a comedic film, and she's not the comedy drive in the film. I feel,
But that's just how it's written, though.
yeah,
like,
no, because I think that she's the emotional
Yeah.
side of the film, and like when she's like depressed Barbie and stuff like that, and when she's like realizing afterwards, because the film went places that I did not think it was gonna go. Like, obviously, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be about patriarchy, I don't know, stuff like that. Like, obviously, but where it ended up going after that point is like in the third act, when they're, deconstructing the patriarchy. It was like, oh.
I just want to say, I feel like it's fair to just spoil these films because, like,
Oh,
I feel
Jesus,
like
everyone's seen
everyone
these
you know
films.
has seen it by now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Especially by
100%.
the time this comes out, there'll be 2 weeks into it. Every theater is sold out. They're
Yeah.
all sold out.
Yeah.
Still, last night was sold out.
Oh yeah, obviously, full spoilers for both Barbie and Oppenheimer, right? This
Yeah,
is your
yeah.
fucking warning.
You had 2 weeks to watch them.
Yeah, like,
You know?
you had 2 weeks to experience the cinematic
Oh.
experience of the year. Come on. So I don't even know how to start with the film. Okay, right, starting off with the film. What do you think about the music? Because there's a lot of music in the film.
I thought it was good, but I don't know. I don't know about like. I thought it was a good like little flavor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
To throw it in there. Was it Lizzo? Was the
Lizzo.
first one?
Yeah.
Is there a
I
Dua
thought that
Lipa
was good.
song?
Sorry?
Is there a Dua Lipa song?
There is.
There
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
The-
because she's also in the film.
The
so.
one, the Dance the Night one, where they're doing the big
Dancing on
choreograph
the night.
thing.
Mm.
Like, even then I was going to go when Ken's doing the dance. I don't want to keep bringing it back.
Yeah.
I think that's it's the one noticeable takeaway that I took from this film. I was just looking
Is that I'm a
online,
sexist?
and everyone's just talking about Ryan Gosling. But like, it is true, unfortunately.
It is. Honestly, he's for me stole the show. Like amazing performance.
If he
It
doesn't win
sounds
Best
bad.
Supporting Actor, I swear to fuck.
Well, there could be someone who we'll
No,
talk about
Liam,
later.
or I'm sorry about you, Robert Downey Jr.
I prefer Gosling to win it, but, just...
Nah,
Yeah.
come on, let's get real here, Academy. Like, come on.
Come on, yeah. Por favor.
I feel like the best way to talk about Barbie would be to like split it into the 3 acts, like Barbie Land, Real World, Barbie Land Return.
Yeah,
That makes
the
sense.
Return of Barbie Land.
Yeah.
Please note as well, we are
They should have
three.
turned it into a
We are
trilogy.
3 men talking about this movie.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, what's wrong with that? We're embracing our inner Barbie or whatever.
our inner Ken,
Our inner enlightened Ken. I think.
our enlightened Ken, our woke Ken.
Our woke Ken, yes.
Mark, you start. You can start. I'll let you
For the first part of the film.
for the first part.
Barbieland. We just start in Barbieland.
We'll start where it all begins.
Where it all begins. It starts with Barbie in an actual like a Barbie world, from the song.
You know that they couldn't afford to get the rights to that song.
Yeah. I was waiting for that to drop
That's in
all
the
movie.
credits, though. Kinda.
I think they could. I think rights for credits is different to having the song in the film. Apparently, the rights for having it in the film were way too expensive.
Damn Aqua.
Aqua, yeah, Aqua.
I know my stuff.
Yeah.
I've done my research.
That's deep lore. Yeah. But yeah, no, like, everything's going grand in Barbie Land, and then Barbie, and they have all these dance offs and stuff. There's a Lizzo song, like that's like kind of the intro, and it just takes us through the like the different
matriarchy.
Yeah, it takes us through the matriarchy that exists in Barbie Land, the different characters that we'll meet, and it's all done to like to Lizzo's song. It's Pink, I assume the name is. And it's done very well, and it's a good song, but it's also done very well. It actually is kind of existing in the movie, and like the characters are interacting with the song, and the song is doing the same. And then you have like there's like 3 different dance numbers.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
It's all done very well though. Like it fits with the kind of I don't know, this because everything's obviously it's Barbie. Everything's kind of like everything's popping. Everything's like extremely colorful. Everything's kind of like over exaggerated. All the characters are exactly what you've seen in the trailer. They're all just like larger than life. They're just dolls, like archetypes, very flat characters.
Except for Michael Cera.
Yeah, and there's Alan as well. Is also in it. But yeah, it's a very colorful opening, and then it's set up well. Kind of the idea that there's something deeply wrong with Barbie in terms of like the relationship between Barbie world and the real world, and how she as a kind of an archetype or like as a character is in some way in contact with the real world, and that's reflecting back on her, and she's getting like depressed, and she has like she feels ugly and all these like weird.
Does anyone think
things.
about death?
Yeah. She goes, anyone thinking about death in the middle of a Dua Lipa dance number. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
The record scratch.
Yeah. She's like, I'll forget about it.
Or even at the start, at the very start of the film, we're like, Barbie was invented in 1940, whatever the fuck it was.
Oh,
she taught girls that they could be whatever they wanted to be, and the world was perfect after that.
I think that a few things need to be commended about the start of the film. The production design is insane in the whole Barbie Land. Like, it's weird because I feel like a lot of films would have went for CGI, but they try to make it look like you can tell how it's been constructed. Like when Ken runs into the wave, for example, it's just a still wave. Like there's no water or anything.
And John Cena's in the movie.
John Cena is in the movie.
Yeah, for like 2 scenes. Yeah,
and
he's Dua Lipa's boyfriend.
Well, who is your favorite of the Barbies who we saw? I really liked President Barbie.
Yeah, President Barbie.
President Barbie was cool.
Which one was that?
The president.
The president. I don't really remember them. I liked Barbie. I thought she was good.
They're all Barbie. They're
all
Ken.
Barbie. But she's the main Barbie. She's the stereotypical Barbie, isn't it? That's her actual title. Yeah, she's just the best one. By far,
I liked Messy Barbie. Or Crazy Barbie, whatever her name is. Weird Barbie.
Yeah, Weird Barbie was cool. Because I normally dislike Kate McKinnon in movies. Actually, that's one thing I wanted to point out with the film, is that they use comedic actors really well to a point where you go, is comedy movies, or the majority of them, just really poorly written now?
Yeah, that's because we were talking about this recently enough on the podcast, being like, when's the last like actually good comedy movie?
Yeah.
Game Night.
Yeah, Game Night. But like Game Night wasn't even a big hit or anything like that. Like yeah, I think you have to go back quite a
like. I like Good Boys. You see Good Boys?
No.
I watch a lot of shit.
Huh?
I watch a lot of shit.
Yeah, sounds like a limp. No, because like if you talk about like last big comedy like Bridesmaids, The Hangover, which is like that's 10 years ago.
None of them are like that good either.
Bridesmaids is. I watched them both in the last year. I think Bridesmaids was very good. I watched The Hangover on a plane recently because I want to watch something I like and I know I like. I was like, oh no, I've grown up.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
Yeah, like I always enjoyed it, but I wasn't like, this would be. I want to rewatch this. It's like Anchorman. Like I enjoy Anchorman, but I wouldn't be like, this is fucking amazing.
I think Anchorman is.
Yeah. A lot of people like obviously loved it, but I was like, I'm more into the other guys.
Yeah,
as we know and stuff like that.
I think Barbie's a lot funnier than Game Night as well.
Funnier, yeah.
But it is. It's a very funny movie.
It's one of those movies where there's so many jokes thrown at you that, like, if you didn't laugh at one, don't worry, because there's another one coming very quickly afterwards that might make you laugh. Like, you're gonna laugh at least twice every 10 minutes.
And you know, because it's Noah and Greta who wrote it, and you just know all the comedy is coming straight from Greta.
Yeah.
And it's, as you're saying, like, even in modern blockbusters these days, they try to make them all funny, like everyone's quipping and stuff, and none of them...
They're all Whedon-esque.
Yeah. None of them land. None of them, they never land. You know, maybe you get one if you're lucky. Where you go, like, you get the...
Whereas this film has, like, funny dialogue, really good physical comedy, and just, you're kind of laughing a lot of the time at just how absurd everything is.
Yeah.
Which is a big bonus for me.
Yeah, because then the comedy kind of drops slightly when you get to into the real world. My kind of problem with Barbie was that there's bits where I was kind of cringing at what was going on.
Which bits?
When they first get into the real world, and they're like going down, and they're on the rollerblades. And Ken's like, "This is great. Everyone's looking at me," and Barbie's like, "This, I feel this. I have this feeling." I was like, that's clever. Like, I like that. Like, she immediately, when she gets into the real world, she's like, "This isn't like Barbie Land. What's wrong here?" But then when they go over to the construction workers, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of."
You found it cringe though, because
I found it cringe
be in fear of something like that
Yeah.
happening to you.
True.
Get woke.
That's it.
Get
Exactly.
Regardless,
You were exposed. You just told on
I
yourself,
think-
man. You
I
just
think-
told on yourself.
I think that a little bit of subtlety is okay to use when discussing a complex issue such as the patriarchy. I think that's allowed.
He's saying not all men.
Yeah.
I can hear.
Well,
I
Ken taught me not all men.
I didn't associate with those construction workers, so I was repulsed by their depiction.
I
on
was just
screen.
like the point was already being made, and then it's like,
yeah.
oh, let's make it even more blatant.
Yeah,
I was
true.
like, yeah, okay.
I was kind of worried when I went into it, because I do think the middle act of the film is the weakest of the three. Not because it's bad or anything, just because it's the most standard. Like, everything. I feel like when you're in Barbie Land, you're seeing things you haven't really seen that much in films. Not that it dips per se.
It does dip.
Yeah.
It does dip. Because at that stage, it's like, this is pretty... I know what's going to happen now. But then when they go back into Barbie world, it's like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen now. Also, unfortunately, again, I think Ken discovering what the patriarchy is was really fucking funny.
That was the funniest sequence in the film for me. Is the whole thing about horses. And he's walking around trying to like figure out what's happening in that world. I thought that was very, very funny. You know, and the whole audience was just dying laughing.
And again, I like some subtlety with some things. The line where he's talking to like a CEO or whatever like that, and the CEO's like, "No, we got women up and down everywhere," and he's just like, "You're not doing the patriarchy right." He's like, "No, we still are. We've just hidden it."
Yeah.
I love when
we've just gotten better at hiding it.
I love what, because I feel like Kenneth really shines in the middle of the film, like the scene where he's with the doctor and he's asking for who's in charge, and he's asking for the pen. But just while we're on Ken, I want to say I've been a Ryan Gosling guy for most of my life, so it was really nice for me to see everyone enjoying him now. Like, I've had calendars of Ryan Gosling. This is...
Oh, why'd you say that?
Nah, it's true. It's true. I had Ryan Gosling's 2019 unofficial calendar.
Oh, okay.
That's
2019.
incredible.
20-ish. It's maybe 18.
Yeah.
But Ryan's my guy. I think he's the best actor, maybe of his generation.
Really?
Maybe. I think he's one of the few who can actually do it all.
Who else would you put in that
generation?
Like, who's of that generation as well?
I feel like the biggest competition probably be Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, Joaquin's fairly... I love Joaquin, but he plays very similar roles.
Yeah.
Although I haven't seen Beau is Afraid.
Bradley Cooper, good film.
Ryan Gosling curb stomps Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper, yeah.
He's one of the few modern movie stars that's still going. And it's funny because he took a 4-year break until last year. Came out with The Grey Man. Don't watch it.
God, no.
Grey Man, yeah.
Any
That's
Grey Man films fans here?
There's no Grey Man film fans. Yeah, my brother watched that. And he said there's no point. He
No.
told me don't watch it because he didn't even say it was bad. He's just like there's no point watching it.
But it's funny, prior to that, he hadn't done a film since First Man, and that came out years ago.
First Man, I remember that. Yeah, I didn't never watch it, but I remember it coming out.
When did doesn't? Oh no, I guess the Nice Guys.
Nice Days, like 2016, 15.
Yeah,
One of my favorite films of the 21st century.
I've only seen it the one time. So
I love that film. Have you seen Nice Guys, Mark?
No.
Good film.
it's a good
That's
film.
I've never seen.
It's no Barbie though.
It's no Barbie. Barbie is better.
Barbie's better.
Saving yourself, telling him, good man. So is Barbie one of the best films of the 21st century as well? Then
It's one of the best films of the year. It's not, I think I actually prefer Lady Bird and Little Women to it.
Oh, I much prefer Barbie to Lady Bird.
See, I just found, I think, just for context, I think that Greta, outside of the Swanberg film, I do have all her films out of 5. I just think that there's some stuff in Barbie I don't like, mainly
the
real
women.
world.
It's okay to say
Mainly
name.
the real world sequences.
Which part of it? Let's
Like,
get into it, Liam.
When she goes to Mattel and stuff, I think it's good. They actually recreate the Matrix scene. I don't know if you know that. The cubicles in the room.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
way it's shot is the same as when Neo's
yeah.
first there.
Yeah.
And also it's very, what a lame thing to say, but like the whole going out of your reality thing is Matrixy as well.
Mhm.
Which is pretty cool.
I really liked, and I like the way that they didn't put too much emphasis on it, where the guy runs up and he's like explaining to Will Ferrell, like, we got Barbie and Ken are out in the real world, and he's like, oh my god, and all the board of directors are like, oh shit, and the other guy's like, wait, so is Barbie is real? And it's like, in other words, like, yeah, it's another world where like imagination influences, yeah, whatever. That's not the problem right now. We don't need to focus on that.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's happened before. It happened before with like some other doll.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're talking about, but like which doll they're talking about. But yeah, they just like kind of brush it off.
It's like, you don't need to think about it.
Was that not, did they say that Weird Barbie went into the real world?
No,
That-
it was some
that was
other
no-
doll.
Yeah, Weird Barbie got weird because her owner started
Played with her too much.
played with her too
Oh,
much.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that although there's bits in the real world that I really like I really like the scene where Barbie's sitting down beside the old woman, which was a little bit like Forrest Gump, and and she starts reflecting on life and stuff like that, and like just looking around and seeing the beauty of the world and stuff like that, and seeing people living their life, and like how there's multiple different emotions being a human. Like, it's not just always being happy and everything being perfect, that there is bad shit.
Well, the studio wanted to cut that scene.
That's
Gerwig's
insane.
talked about it in interviews since that. She said that it's the most important scene in the film.
Oh yeah, definitely. 'Cause-
I think that's when you can see in moments like that, and even when she meets later on in the film the head of Mattel, or like the creator of Barbie.
Mhm.
Robbie's like vulnerability in those scenes, and
Yeah.
like just her facial expressions. I think they're second to none.
Yeah, they are definitely, yeah. And even like, you know, we can be a little bit woke here. The the fact that it's older women who have like lived in this like even worse, more oppressive version of the patriarchy, being the ones to be like, you know, life is still worth living. Like, it can be shit and hard, and men can be arseholes. Or not are arseholes. Rephrase that. I need to keep my woke badge here.
You gotta commit to it.
Like, I like the way that it's older women that are guiding her on this path. It's cool. Like, it's a generational thing.
Mm.
And the scene where she hides with is it the owner of Mattel, or is it the creator of Barbie?
The creator of Barbie.
The old woman at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Yeah, the creator
like
of
that
Barbie.
scene.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that it's funny they hint at it later. That woman's life is full of scandal
Yeah.
and like
Is it?
embezzlement shit.
Yeah, tax
I'd say she
evasion and
was,
stuff
yeah,
like that. I love even as well. It's like because when she's like, I'm the owner or the creator of Barbie, because she was an old woman even when she created Barbie. I think she was like, not an old woman, but she was
She's
like,
died years ago. Like
she's dead. Like, she's I think she died in like the 80s or something like that. And then it's like, Will Ferrell was like, oh yeah, the ghost of the owner, or whatever, ghost of Mary. Yeah, she's got an office on the 3rd floor.
Do you know who plays her?
No.
It's the mom from Matilda.
The
man from Matilda.
Danny DeVito's wife.
Oh shit,
in
no
Matilda.
way.
I don't remember.
Ah, come on.
I do not remember.
That's
but-
gas.
Yeah,
didn't-
throwback.
I didn't catch that. But yeah, I do think that like because the best part of the middle act is Barbie realizing all that stuff. I think it becomes kind of low key, a little bit boring when she's like in Mattel and they're trying to catch her and it's like just chasing her around outside of the tea scene where she meets the owner. But then you have Ken just fucking discovering what the patriarchy is and be like, I need to bring this back to Barbie land.
Yeah.
The one scene I actually just don't like in the film is probably the car chase. And it just felt like an ad for the car.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
also didn't super like when Barbie meets the 4 girls.
In the school.
Yeah,
I like that scene.
I was like, yeah,
Well, why don't
again,
you like
kind
it?
of on the nose.
Mm,
Do you also
it was,
know- do
it
you
was
also-
very on the nose, but they're also like mad young to be saying that. I
Yeah.
thought it was kind of like just
Well,
kind
bro,
of took
they're
me
the
out of it a
TikTok
I
little
think
bit.
generation.
that's how people would talk
They're the
now,
TikTok generation,
Yeah, I don't
so
know.
Though.
I don't know any 12-year-olds, so I don't know if they talk like that.
They're older than 12.
they're in high school. They're
They're
like
like
15,
15.
16.
Are they?
And
They
I
look-
feel
they
like-
were 12.
You know also that they're tailored off the Bratz dolls.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're all designed to look like a Bratz doll, and their names are actually.
Were you surprised at how much I enjoyed that?
Yeah.
No, it's just like
Oh.
it's like the Bratz dolls. It's like why?
They have
'cause
great
Bratz
movies.
were
Yeah,
Barbie's,
what's wrong with the Bratz?
Bratz was Barbie's
Nemesis.
Competitor,
Competitor, yeah.
Nemesis.
nemesis,
Nemesis.
Barbie versus Bratz.
her
That's the next
sworn
one.
enemy.
Yeah.
But you meet America is it Ferrera.
Yes.
I think she's brilliant. I really liked her.
Yeah.
Um,
Can we just fast? Okay, keep going. Sorry, keep going. I was gonna say, can we fast forward to her scene?
Are you gonna say you don't like it?
No, because right. So there
Oh.
was because obviously there was like a lot of discussion. Like, there's one scene in the film that's gonna like really get to people.
Wait, which scene?
The monologue.
speech.
Oh yeah.
And it started, and I was like, "Oh no!" But then by the end of
I'm
it,
gonna be caught out.
I know. I was like, "Oh God, I really hope I don't like this. I really hope I do like this. I hope I'm not. Oh God," because it starts off, and I was like, "Okay," but then it just keeps going and building on itself, and I was like, by the end, I was like, "Yeah, women." I was like, "Oh, thank God," because I actually think that scene. I think you're a dickhead if you don't appreciate aspects of that. Like, I think you're an arsehole if you're gonna walk away being like, fuck this woke bullshit.
Ben Shapiro making 2-hour-long
Listen,
videos.
Yeah,
about
don't talk about
Barbie.
that
So
dickless
weird.
nerd who can't please his wife on this podcast.
Ben Shapiro. Yeah, it was like that seems like a really bad idea because it's like such a popular film, kind of across.
There'll be
Like people don't really talk about I haven't heard anyone talking about the politics of it really. Like,
well, it's
Oh,
only
you haven't
people
looked
who-
at the 1-star Letterboxd reviews. Let me tell you that.
no, I read an article about some of the it might have been IMDb or something or like Google where it got review bombed, but it doesn't seem like a very popular. Everyone seems to kind of enjoy it, you know.
Yeah,
It's got like it's objectively like a very well made film.
Mm.
Like Ben, pick your fucking battles, man. You know, it's like at least wait a week to see what the vibe is with the film. Don't make a video before the film comes out trashing the film.
Yeah,
you know.
fucking
Did
dork.
you feel during the monologue scene just pure silence in the cinema?
Bro, there's a girl
Mm.
crying after that scene in my cinema, like audibly.
It's really emotional.
Yeah,
Outside of the woman on the bench scene, as
Mm.
compared to Forrest Gump, when you
They
can
were
see
all-
when you see a feather floating.
bro, don't
between
tell me
them.
that there's a shot where they sit beside each other, and immediately my brain just went like, it's like Forrest Gump, because she's even sitting on the right.
This is just like Forrest Gump.
She's even sitting on the right. I think the old woman's
Two
holding.
characters sitting down. This is the same as far as
The old woman's they're at a bus stop. The old woman's holding a box or of something. It's the fucking same. I said to Melissa afterwards, that I don't like when a film has like lines and stuff like that completely like pull me out of the film. Like, I don't like when like you can feel the film kind of like lecturing you.
like this showing or telling rather than showing.
Like more so being like, I feel like the line in the film is directly for the audience to hear it, rather than like how it's like the bit with the construction workers and stuff like that. I feel like bits like that they're really for like, hey audience, do you get it? But that scene, I was afraid when it started. I was like, I'm gonna be like pulled out of this emotional scene because I'm just gonna feel like Greta Gerwig is talking to you, and like not like a artistic, like emotional way, in a way that's like, I'm speaking to you.
Yeah, this is the message of the film.
This is the message of the film, and it did have that. But what's her name? What's her name? America. That, like, she sells that, and like you can feel like how much it means, like within the film, but also like it's not. It doesn't feel like Greta Gerwig talking to you. It feels like every woman talking to you in that scene. You know what I mean?
She's had a really interesting career.
I've seen her and stuff,
she's
but
Ugly
I
Betty.
can't tell.
Ugly Betty,
Superstore.
There we go.
Superstore, yeah.
Superstore, that's how I know her. That's how I know her.
She's comedy, like sitcom-y through and through, and now she's like third most important role in the biggest film of the year. That's wild.
Yeah, wild. Yes, what a career.
Act
Ugly Betty.
Ryan Gosling's, what is it? His Mojo Dojo.
Casa House. Yeah.
Mojo Dojo, Casa House.
I was living for everything from there.
Sublime.
I think that third act's one of my favorite third acts in a long
man, it's so
time.
good. Cause yeah, obviously then they come back and Ken has brought back the patriarchy, and it's now like the most like what they say. It's like when Native Americans and stuff like that like weren't exposed to diseases, so it just fucking spread like wildfire. It's like they're completely untrained for this, and it just spreads like wildfire in Barbie land. But like there's even that scene, and I genuinely think I've actually felt very sad when they're walking down the street and there's like Barbie's like, I'm gonna show you my house, and it's like, where do the Kens live? And she's like, I actually don't know. It's like, oh, like you are the same, like you are the same side of, you're the different side of the same coin. Like the matriarch and the patriarchy have similar issues.
That's why it's really surprising to see those people who have taken issue with this film calling it sexist, which it is a minority, but they're a vocal minority. Like even in the third act, which we'll get to, like Barbie does apologize to Ken for how she treated him. And I'm just like, how are you watching this film and going, this film hates guys?
Yeah, it's very kind of clear.
Yeah.
About like, because I don't know what other film that would even come to mind that would like kind of touch on it in the way that Barbie does.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, about like the patriarchy is not just like a kind of like a duality where it's just men oppressing women, but it's like there's also a dimension where it's like it's men oppressing men, but with ideas about themselves which they all have to live up to. And how that kind of plays into it, because it's kind of it's obviously it's an aside to the actual like the basic kind of way patriarchy works, but the film it's very nuanced in the way that it does approach it. And Ken he's not a villain, like, you know, like there's no villain in the film. Like he just becomes bad at one point because he's really naive, and you know he's been fucked over before, and then at the end you have a kind of a resolution where there's like a, you know, they both realize what the way forward is, you know. That's very well done that way.
Yeah, he thought it was about horses.
Yeah, an extension of the man.
I love some of the, there are some parts of the film where they're saying some of the obnoxious stuff that Ken is doing, and I was like, oh man, I am guilty. When the Godfather explaining the Godfather, I was like, oh my god.
Melissa turned to me when that scene happened, and as soon as I could see her turn her head, I was like, I know what she's gonna say, and she's like, that's you.
I felt, because me and Kara watched it a few days after we watched Dunkirk, with the majority of that film was me explaining why it was historically significant. She's on her phone, doesn't care about filming. Do you want to know where that guy came from? This is why he's working with Nolan right now.
Well, see, that kind of bite Melissa in the ass then, because then I proceeded to not explain anything about Oppenheimer, and she was confused.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Those are all like so on, because I went to go see it with a lot of lads, and it was the rest of the theater was just women, It was packed out. It was really good to see the audience so engaged as well. Like people were proper like. Usually I hate when like there's any noise in the cinema, but like these Barbie and Oppenheimer to a lesser extent because no one was cheering during Oppenheimer or whatever. But like, it was like people are actually like the audience is very engaged in the film. It's like an event, you know. It's something that people are all there to see an event, as a group. And we seen it in the lighthouse. There was like 4 of us, 4 lads, and we sat in like the front row or like the second row from the front. The rest was just women like decked out in the pink garbs and stuff like that. And they're all like proper engaged in the film, like laughing at every joke, like just enjoying themselves. And then that scene started, and I didn't see many other men in the film or like in the theater. And they're just going through all these things, and they're all so on point. Like the guitar that goes on for 4 hours. I was just like, it's like
so
kind of like getting a bit awkward in my seat. I was like, oh god.
The best thing is that he doesn't say I'm going to play a song for you. The way he specifically says I'm going to play a song at you.
Yeah.
But I think it's great.
And then all the Kens are doing it as well. Like they're
they're all in a
singing.
circle.
It's like 8 hours later.
It's so good.
Still
Yeah.
singing it.
Oh yeah.
And it's an actual song as well.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
forget the name of the band.
No idea.
No.
No idea.
It's
Can't
called
remember.
Push.
Push.
Yeah, it's the name of the song. It's the name of the
I'm
song.
gonna pull up my
But
phone, but yeah, I think the film picks up massively, and then obviously like you have Barbie who just like completely like gives up in the face of this overwhelming oppression, and the women that are from the real world are just like, no, you can't do that. You need to fight. And then they obviously turn all the Barbies. Fucking Alan.
Yes.
Alan, yeah.
Alan, I like few bits in the film made Melissa fucking cry laughing as much as when, like, firstly when they're like, we're gonna build the wall, and they're just building it vertically.
Yeah.
I fucking died at that. But then when Alan kicks the shit out of all the Kens, bro, and like Melissa had to like hold her mouth at that. I was in fucking bits as well because it just comes out of nowhere and he's just kicking the shit out of them. Oh god, like Michael Cera was like decent in the film, but man, he peaked in that scene. And he's like, "Oh, I'm never gonna get out of here."
Yeah, he's a very small role, but he makes it work. You know.
It's even funny that it's Michael Cera as well.
What a guy.
What a guy.
Yeah, we need more Michael Cera. He doesn't do much.
He really doesn't.
He was in Black Mirror this year.
Was he?
Yeah, the new scene. Only for like one scene.
Okay.
What's the point?
In a really bad episode. But
Yeah,
he's
Black
there.
Mirror, it's got the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you did the whole ending
Mm.
about it's not about, you know, men or women, it's about humans. It's about like you yourself going out into the world, finding what you want to do, and you know, you will face issues through, you know, whichever overwhelming systems, which case we live in the patriarchy, so therefore, you know, men and women will face issues through that in trying to decide what they want to do. Like someone like Ken would not survive in this world.
No.
He's too pure for this world.
I don't know. I think Kenbos are striving. Personally.
Kenbos.
Kenbos.
Kenbos, yeah.
But yeah, it's just a thing that like, yeah, in the patriarchy you can only be specific things.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
And similar for women, like it's equally oppressive for both, and it doesn't work for either. Like Ken fucking hates the patriarchy at the end. He's like, oh, sorry. Also, can we just talk about I'm Ken. I had an emotional response to that song.
What a great song! Like
The choreography in that scene, fantastic.
I think the fight beforehand is kind of lame, but then when they break out into the actual,
I like the fight.
no, I think the fight is kind of whatever, but the fucking
Someone
bit.
trying to resuscitate their horse.
I think they have no weapons as well.
It's so good.
Yeah, but then when they actually break into the black t-shirts and saying, "Oh man."
I love how that's the big set piece rather than a big fight. The fight's only there for like 90 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it goes to like 5
Second,
minutes
whatever.
long. It's so good. I have a question for Mark about the end of the movie. More so because you told me your opinion before.
Mm-hmm.
After Barbie at the end decides to go to the real world, what did you think of the final line of the movie?
I don't remember the final line. What was it?
Where
She's at a gynecologist.
She's at the
she's ready
gynecologist, yeah.
for her gynecology
Yeah.
her appointment or something.
Wait, she's ready for her appointment.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and
it's
then
the
she's like,
appointment.
I'm ready for my appointment with my gynecologist.
And then the film ends.
Yeah, that's a great ending, you know.
I agree.
I think that's a great
Fucking
ending.
cringe.
I
I,
think
did
that-
not find that funny
I think that was,
whatsoever.
but like, if she'd been like, I didn't know where. Obviously, that's the whole joke, and there's like a 2-minute scene leading up to that.
You think it's a job interview?
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, like she's gonna interview fucking CEO of Mattel.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
like,
no, I knew. I was like,
fuck
oh, this
off.
is gonna be like she's going to the doctor or something like that, and it's like, here do you see my gynecologist? Like, oh fuck off.
What?
I just, like,
What's your problem, man?
right? Because I'll compare.
What's up with this?
That's why I
guy?
asked this question. Why I asked this question because I
Okay,
knew
right.
I knew an insane person would not like
No,
it.
I was like, I didn't even laugh when that happened. I was like, oh.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was
I
funny.
got a giggle.
Wait, why
Nah.
didn't you like it?
Because this isn't funny.
It's too on the nose.
Not in the nose. It just wasn't funny. It just wasn't funny.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was
funny.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was good.
I had a laugh at that, you know.
Listen, not every woman needs a gynecologist.
I
you
think
know?
every woman
That's so
does
true.
need
You
a
should
gynecologist.
have
Liam,
stood
I don't
up and
think
said
all
that
women
in
have
cinema.
penises, so they don't need or have penises don't have vaginas. So I don't think every woman needs a gynecologist. Therefore, this film is slightly.
This film is transphobic.
have
The
no-
hottest take of all time.
The ending.
I
line.
hate Barbie.
That's what Ben Shapiro
because
should have
it
made a
doesn't
video
go
on.
far enough.
Do you do ratings on this podcast?
No, but I give this one 4 stars. We just talk about our letterbox ratings the odd time.
Yeah.
Not every time, but the
We
odd
don't
time.
really rate them. Yeah, yeah.
That's okay.
4 stars on letterbox.
I'd give it a 5 because I stopped using half stars, but it's a 4.5. It's a 9 out of 10 for me.
It's a 9 out of 10 for me as well, but
Yeah.
it's not 5
I'd say
star.
4. I'd say 4 star.
Yeah,
I
4
do
star.
full stars. I wouldn't say it's 10 though. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
call it a 5-star film.
5 star.
Fair enough. Like I can, like it was one of those films that like there's just bits that made me cringe, and that middle act isn't the best, but still like the ending is so fucking good,
Yeah.
and like
So
the
you admit it,
emotions
you
are hit.
liked the gynecology line.
The ending act.
He admitted
is
it.
very good.
He
The
admitted
third
it.
act is very
Folks,
good.
we got him, folks.
We got him on tape.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Will we take a break?
Let's take a break. Recalibrate.
Yeah, recalibrate,
back
and
to
then we'll go
business.
back to it.
Drop a few bombs.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna clap here.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Right.
So,
Very out of sync, but now we know roughly.
Yeah, Yeah, we can fix it in
We
post.
have a rough idea.
Okay,
Okay.
alright. Now, we've discussed the Barbie half. We are now moving on to Oppenheimer. Immediate thoughts. 3, 2, 1, go, Liam.
Dudes rock.
It was the bomb.
It's pretty good.
It's just guys being guys.
It's just
isn't it?
bros
Yes.
being bros. This is what
Proper
happens when a bunch
guy
of guys
movie.
hang out, you know?
I walked out of the film like, yeah, I want to make a fucking nuclear bomb now, you know?
This
That's
guy was onto something.
Yeah, you know what? This is a pretty good idea.
You don't know how good we had it.
Yeah, it's a great message as well. Like, nuclear bombs are good. You know?
It's like,
It's it's the film is it's tailored to the modern age.
yeah, they're just like, because Barbie's like, oh my god, the patriarchy's awful. Oppenheimer's like, oh, this is what you can do under the patriarchy.
Yeah. This is how it really works.
this is why we need Margot Robbie to put a stop to this
Yeah,
immediately.
Yeah,
That's-
it's all guys. Kinda
I
funny.
saw a Letterboxd review that literally said that it was more or less like this is what happens when there's a patriarchy and there's no one to hold men accountable.
And there was horses.
And there was horses.
I'm just gonna start this conversation with pretty hyperbolic
Hyperbolic.
Yeah.
statement.
Please.
I think this is one of the best films of the last 10 years.
Liam,
Oh,
I may have to agree with you on that because I can't think of. I'm trying to think. Okay, because I would say Everything Everywhere All at Once is better.
yeah, probably.
I disagree.
Yeah, that's okay, Mark. We know your thoughts on that. Though. Well established on this podcast.
I think it joins like that kind of level of Parasite, Everything Ever All at Once.
It's not better than Parasite. And it's not better than The Lighthouse.
I think it's on par with those movies.
The fact that I'm like having to think shows my thoughts in this.
It
film.
shows that Liam is right.
Yeah, it shows that like Liam's probably actually right. I think that this is Nolan's best film by like not a wide margin, but it's got a couple of fucking paces on Inception. What do you think about this film, Mark? Because I know
I thought it was really, really good. I wouldn't really go as far as to say it's like the best film of the last. I've seen people say it's the best film, one of the best films of the 21st century. I wouldn't go that far. But then again, like I didn't see it in like ideal circumstances. I seen it in the Galactic screen, the Savoy.
What is the Galactic screen
Man,
like?
I thought so. Like the Galactic screen used to be this huge. It was like an IMAX screen. It's huge. It was like when you first come into the Savoy and screen one, the first door you go into.
Yeah.
Like straight through the front door. There's a screen there. It used to be this massive screen, with like this huge auditorium. And there's like everything. Like the seats were great, and it's sloped down. So like even if you had some tall cunts in the front of you, it didn't make a difference. Last film I watched there is the Alien Covenant in 2017.
Jesus.
Which was a waste of my last trip to the Galactic. And then later in 2017 they tore it down and split it into two. And then. But like, I thought it was just two normal screens. Apparently, it's just two Galactic screens. But that doesn't make any sense because the whole point of the Galactic screen was that it was fucking huge.
I've been in that screen before, I've been in both of those screens, and I thought they just changed it to normal screens.
Yeah. They're basically just normal screens.
That's crazy.
But they're called Galactic, and they cost more. So the seats are still nice, but the screen is half the size of an IMAX screen. So it's just basically a normal screen, maybe slightly bigger. And I watched it, and we came in like as the movie was starting. So naturally, there were no seats except for right in the front. So we were literally 5 feet from the bottom of the screen, or like my neck was just like permanently like fixed back like that the entire time. So kind of like look around the screen for a bit, and then we got settled. But I was still like extremely like once I got settled, I was still extremely impressed with the film. I thought it was really, really good. And yeah, like as far as I think it's like streets ahead of pretty much everything Nolan's ever done. Like I'd enjoyed The Dark Knight probably more. But like in the same sense that I'd enjoyed The Dark Knight Rises. It's like kind of like it's just kind of a fun film to watch.
Yeah.
But technically speaking, and in terms of like the writing, in terms of like the themes and stuff, Oppenheimer's way ahead of I think anything else he's done. But it's kind of cold at the same time. And it is long and it drags a little bit.
Yeah.
Is the only thing I'd say, but in the negative about the film.
Are you relieved that it wasn't 3 hours in black and white?
Yes. Oh, it's like I got that impression off the first trailer. I was like, fuck this. I didn't have high hopes about the film at all. And then I think it was about a month ago, Paul Schrader. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Paul Schrader put up a post on Facebook. He only posts, he's like a proper boomer. He only posts on Facebook, like comments underneath stuff. And you can like text him and he'll reply back. He put up like a selfie with Christopher Nolan. And he was like, Oppenheimer is one of the most important films of the 21st century. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go see this film. And like opening week.
He liked Barbie as well. He had a post up for that.
Yeah.
He said it's a Greta Gerwig world.
He's great taste.
What a king.
He actually did.
He's amazing taste. And he's obviously an amazing director and writer. So I was like, this actually is going to be big.
Of course he liked it though, because there hasn't been a sadder man in sad men history than Robert Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, shit, I should have made a film about Oppenheimer.
It is kind of like it's like a Mishima-esque kind of like, that's up Schrader's street, It's like Oppenheimer is a big incel as well.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I was extremely impressed with like just kind of how it's way more sophisticated kind of handling of the material than Nolan would usually do. Yeah, I know he hasn't ever done like kind of a historical. Dunkirk is obviously different. It's very broad. It's not based on real people, really. But like Oppenheimer is very, very precise, based on one guy. But at the same time, it's not about one guy, really. Like it's not a case of, the great man kind of idea where it's like this guy he was the man to do this. This wouldn't have happened without him. It's like it's not the case of like all the action flowing through this guy. It's more of a case that we can use this guy, Oppenheimer, as basically a case study for everything else that's happening around him. Like he is the main character and it's all about him and his life, but at the same time you're proper involved, for better or worse, as we talked about before. There's a lot of detail in there like that goes over everyone's heads, because there's just the level of detail, but you can really feel that you're actually in this like insanely important moment in time. And there is this constant idea throughout the film that this guy isn't really in control at all of what is happening. Of like the forces that are at play here are like stretched far beyond the actual events in the film and far beyond the actual screen that you're watching as well. It's actually relevant to like obviously everything that happened afterwards, and everything that's happening right now. Like it's really like relevant film for like a historical biopic.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing in that sense.
Yeah, because I think that, like, as you said, like, it's such a, like, the scope of this film, because, like, few things probably are as important in history as the nuclear bomb going off.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
Hot
I don't know,
take.
hot take, like boiling nuclear hot
Hey,
take.
guys, a lot of people overlook this.
A lot of people,
This whole nuclear bomb thing, people gotta talk about
Yeah,
this.
This is a bad
people are
idea, man.
sleeping on this. Like, Melissa made a good point as well. You know that they're sitting watching it and stuff like that, and they're obviously like, yeah, no, we did the math. Like, it'll be fine. How did you do the math for something that's never happened before? Like, how do you know that you're at a safe distance?
It's all the physics, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're smart men.
they were
They were
smart.
smart.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
smart guys.
They had a fair
But
idea.
they were like, oh no, you should go probably back further. Like, you need to be a little bit further back. Like, the match is slightly off. How do you know that?
I assume though that they appear to be like miles and miles.
Oh yeah, they're ages.
Oh, yeah,
away,
geez, yeah. But like, even still, you know,
How did you see it, or what kind of screen?
I was gonna ask you because you saw it on IMAX, didn't you?
The way I told you and demanded you to watch it.
See, what happened was that
There we go.
What happened was
Here we go.
what happened was
excuses.
I was gonna go see this on Sunday just gone by. So I was booking the tickets on Wednesday, being like, sure, Oppenheimer's been out like fucking 2 weeks at this stage. Surely it won't be that busy. No, Owen, no. If you wanted to see this in IMAX, I was going to be sitting front row.
Like Mark.
I had the exact same situation. I was like, lads, let's all go see Oppenheimer Monday night, 7:30 in Cineworld. Everyone's like, yeah. Had a whole crew on board, and then the day of, I was like, I should probably book these in advance just in case. And it was only like 12. It was like noon that day, and everything was sold out except for the front row. So we had to completely improvise and went to Savoy instead.
So then I looked at the IMAX screen in Blanchardstown, which I didn't know existed.
You're two.
There's
Kinda.
two of them.
They have an iSense and an IMAX, but because Ireland doesn't really have proper IMAX screens, they're
Mhm.
the same thing.
Okay, so I looked at the IMAX screen in Blanchardstown. Exact same situation. So then I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, right. Next best thing. Screen 1 in the Point with the iSense. So I saw it in iSense. With
Oh,
the,
that's
That's
pretty
IMAX,
much.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's pretty much.
it's pretty much IMAX, but the aspect ratio of
Yeah.
the screen is different.
iSense is made. I think it's by Sony. It's their
Yeah, it
version
is, I
of it.
think.
Now IMAX is better.
IMAX,
But-
no, but we've had this discussion before. iSense is the sound,
Yeah,
not the screen.
yeah.
IMAX is the screen. Like, there's a specific screen. Like, I don't think screen 1 in the Point curves,
It
whereas
does, and it's straight.
whereas the IMAX screen is meant to curve. Like, because I saw Avatar 2 at IMAX, there's a fucking difference between that screen and screen 1.
in
So I saw the
Cineworld, yeah.
next best thing I could do.
This is why you book. And I had this movie booked for about a month.
A month.
And yeah, I've had it booked since the day it went on sale.
Oh, cool.
So I had perfect seats. It was in the IMAX, and you pointed out to me because I said that it was the best film I've ever seen in IMAX. This isn't true. It is Avatar 2. Just because like that's something you've never seen before.
Mildly hot take.
Oh no,
Oh,
this
Mildly
guy.
hot take.
This guy.
not again.
This guy.
I was vaguely disappointed in the bomb.
Oh no.
The actual
which one?
The actual explosion scene, I was like, outside of like how like artistically fun, I don't know, the actual visuals I was seeing wasn't that impressive.
This is where I come in. This is what I want to say is I think that was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. In the cinema.
no fucking way.
In IMAX. You should
No, in
IMAX.
general.
Just in general.
In general, that scene,
Mm.
it's going to be the defining moment of Nolan's career, I think.
Mm.
I mean, I do know that like he like made the biggest dynamite explosion in history or something for that.
The way it uses silence.
No.
You mean the actual?
I'm talking. That's why I said the visuals, the actual visuals that were on screen.
I disagree with
Oh,
you.
just the fire.
I was like, yeah, it's
You
just
didn't like the
flames
fire?
on the screen. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's a pretty big
Oh,
explosion.
how would
Cool.
you have portrayed it?
Owen wanted to die.
I wanted to feel the
I
heat.
pay for a
coming off
real
the screen.
explosion.
I wanted the heat to feel heat coming off that screen. When it happened, I was like, yeah, it's a pretty big explosion, and I love the silence and stuff like that. I'm not like, I think sound wise, I was like, oh great, I'm so happy I saw this in iSense, because bro, when that fucking kick came in, the fucking room shook when that happened. It was incredible. The actual sound was amazing. I think audio wise, it's the best thing he's ever done. Visually, yeah, like
I felt like I was having a panic attack watching it. The whole
fair.
bomb sequence, like when they're doing the countdown. Also, it's so funny that
Peck.
Josh. Megan.
Josh Peck.
What's it? Is it Wendy, his girlfriend?
Yeah, Wendy. And
Fuck you, Wendy. This is what happens when you don't get with Josh.
he becomes the destroyer of worlds.
Drops a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, he drops the bomb.
I just think like that you could feel everyone was so tense.
Oh man.
Watch it. I actually couldn't handle it.
Yeah, no, like, cause like, and Patrick said it in the group chat, like, cause I also thought, Mark, that it did kind of drag a little bit. I was at a certain stage, I was like, will you just build the fucking bomb already?
He's
Come
gotta
on.
have sex and quote the thing.
Oh, come on,
That
hurry
was so
up.
weird. So strange.
Fucking rocked.
to drop it at that moment, it was like, that's a bit strange.
said it-
I thought
he
you know
said
a
it
bit rocked
twice.
even more when he donned the hat and coat and looked out. I was like, I started laughing.
Nah,
I'm
this
just like,
guy's
what are you
cool.
laughing at? I was like, he's like the Batman.
Yeah.
This guy's cool.
He's cool.
The
yeah,
two
yeah.
most important events is him having sex with Florence Pugh and putting
Putting on his hat.
taking or the bomb going off is the only two times you're allowed to say the line.
No, but yeah, the actual bomb. It's like the fucking sound off that, man. Oh Jesus! Like, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll go back to this because that's only one scene in the film, and it's fucking 2 hours into the film when that bomb finally goes off.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah, way, definitely worth it.
But that's the thing, is because it's a film, and that's another thing that I really appreciate about the film. In the same way, it's, you know, title card Oppenheimer. It's about this one guy. It's not really about this one guy at all. You know, he's
one piece.
he's a synecdoche
yes.
of the nuclear age, and at the same time, the film, you're thinking Oppenheimer, you're thinking nuclear bomb. The film isn't really like about the actual dropping of the bomb
No.
at all. You know, it's about
Yeah, we don't actually see the actual bombs. The actual bombs.
Man,
go
I was
off.
in the jacks when they dropped the actual bombs. I was like, I didn't even like, and I came back and I was like, oh, did I miss anything? They're like, oh, they dropped the bombs, but like it was just Truman announcing it on the radio.
I love that. Like this film, like we don't really need to go chronologically, really.
No.
But I think it's really interesting that once the bomb goes off, that not only is he surrounded in self-doubt, that the government, like, you've done your job, it doesn't matter.
See
What
ya.
you, like, they're
Yeah.
having to discuss them. And the guy, one of the government guy goes, no, we can't do Kyogo. I had my honeymoon there.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
you fucking bastard.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful city, very important to the Japanese people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like, because it is a film that's like, it's one man who kind of gets the blame for what happened, but the film is so much like, no, this was America doing this. This is like America, and they even have the discussion, which I always kind of forget about. It's like, no, we need to hurry up doing this because it's either being us or it's gonna be the Nazis.
It's like the race to space.
Yeah,
kinda.
race to space, and then after that, like, well, we don't need to make the bomb anymore, and it's just like, well, no, Japan's still there, and at that stage, even Oppenheimer's like, he's so far into it and so much into the belief of like, I could do this, that like, you know, he's trying to justify making the bomb after the Nazis have lost.
Yeah, even though they don't really need it. You know?
Yeah.
They no longer have that moral
Mm.
superiority to justify doing this anymore,
Mm.
but we're so close that we might as well fucking do it.
Yeah. Like, that was a great part of the film, the fact that he's not in control of anything that's happening in the film once it leaves the blackboard.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like he's great. He says it like multiple times in the film. It's theory. Like, theory is my thing. So I'm good at maths, and he can design the bomb. He can kind of provide the theoretical basis of it. but his idea of how it should be used, or even that there should be a bomb built, is like just totally out of his control. And he's portrayed as like an egotistical kind of like he's a bit of a cunt in the film, you know. And that's what he's like in real life. Like, he's just apparently not an amazing person.
Who knew?
And he's portrayed like that in the film. Well, even though he clearly has like huge doubts about how it's going to be used, but also like how it, you know, the ramification would have beyond the war, beyond its first use. And he's like not in control of any of it whatsoever. But you can see points in the film, which what makes it a good biopic, I think, is the fact that you can see the points in the film where he could have maybe stepped in or like taken a different path, just personally, you know. Even like his whole like, because it's all a huge part of the film is dedicated to his involvement with the Communist Party and stuff like that, and how that kind of played into his ideas of trying to cooperate with the Soviets, not wanting to use this as giving like a golden goose egg to the Americans in a war, kind of not wanting the bomb to be like the starting trumpet for a new conflict, you know, wanting it to just end the one that they're already in. By the time that becomes apparent that conflict is already over, he has no control whatsoever. As it's kind of like it turns, especially the scene where they do the test. At that point, it's already clear that the war is already over, and you have the horrifying scene, which I partly missed because I was in the Jacks. But when I came back and they're all cheering, and he's giving that speech, and you can tell he's not.
You missed that? Oh, that seems so good.
No, I seen the scene, but I didn't see the actual the bomb being dropped. So I came back just as that scene kind of started, when they're like when he's giving the speech, and he's not into it. He doesn't. He's saying all the things that they want him to say.
Sorry, Mark, just to clarify, did you miss the test scene?
No. So the actual dropping of the bomb.
Oh, the actual, like when they read it over.
When they drop the bomb on Hiroshima, and he's in Los Alamos, and he's giving the speech about how he wanted to use on the Germans and all that stuff, and he's clearly not. He's not feeling it inside.
He's not doing well at that stage.
And that whole scene is more out of a horror film, because at that stage it basically is like it's closer to like Threads than anything else. Like, it's not really about like this one guy and he wore a suit and he was very important in the past. It's more like you're thinking way ahead. And even the sound design, which you haven't talked about yet, is insane in the film. Like the whole score, like the way it's all done. And they have in that scene specifically, there's like a scream. It's just kind of like thrown in. And it's like you're thinking of like Hiroshima, but you're also thinking like the future. Yeah. Which is like hinted at in the film as well. It's like this is like God knows what is being unleashed. And it's like kind of horrifying in a way that like you would never get in a conventional, like, you know, straight historical biopic. Yeah. I thought that was very good.
Yeah, 100%.
It's funny that like the first 2 hours of the film up until the test is basically like historical Ocean's 11. We gotta get the gang here together. Matt Damon's here for the ride.
Ben Safdie as well. I was like, my boy.
Well, his accent is dodgy as fuck.
I don't care.
That was a terrible accent. I thought that was a terrible accent. Yeah. I love him, but that was a terrible fucking accent.
Great eyebrows.
Great face, man. I love it. Just looking at it, it's like
very distinctive.
Such an interesting face.
Who was each of our favorite of Oppenheimer's boys?
I love Ben Safdie. I also loved Matt Damon.
Matt Damon's shockingly good in this.
Oh, he's so good. Yeah. Great comic relief as well, like at random points.
It feels like he shouldn't work.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It feels like he shouldn't be there. Like, it shouldn't work, but
yeah, it really does though. It really does.
I like they have your man from The Boys, Jack Quaid, and the new Scream. They have him playing the bongos. Remember that bit?
No, I don't remember.
No? Remember the bongos?
I don't know the actor, but yeah, I remember that bit.
That guy actually did play the bongos in real life.
He played the bongos?
Yeah.
The actual scientist.
It's historically
so funny.
Just when you mentioned Safdie's accent, I seen it pointed out on the internet that Cillian Murphy, whose name we haven't mentioned yet, who's unreal in this film.
He's like...
He sounds...
Doesn't need a mention because how fucking it's so blatantly up. Like, bro, if Cillian Murphy doesn't win Best Supporting Actor next year.
Supporting? He's winning Best
Actor.
Sorry,
Best Actor.
Yeah, he should get Best Actor.
Yeah.
Really should, yeah.
But his accent sounds like Robin Williams. if you go to the trailer and compare it,
Oh Jesus,
he's-
no.
actually does, not in a bad way,
No, yeah.
you know.
He's just
but-
playing an Englishman or an
Yeah.
American. He's from New York, never mind.
Yeah, but it's the first. Like, I feel like a lot of people are gonna ignore the first 2 hours. The movie is slow, but and I think to its benefit,
Yeah,
you know, this whole film is kind of like
it's methodical.
it's about. No, I don't know if I could make this comparison while
Go
I'm
for it.
staying in the. It's kind of like this movie is like sex.
Bit of foreplay for 2
A lot of
hours.
foreplay.
A lot of
Three,
foreplay.
3 hours long.
Bomb goes off.
Immediate
Post
re-
nut clarity.
Immediate.
Yeah.
He knows
Oh
this.
man.
I should not have done that.
The weight of the world
I
on his
become
shoulders.
dead.
Destroyer of worlds.
Oh, that scene actually makes more sense now. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's trying to get it justified. Should I have done that? It was like, bro.
He's there talking to the boys afterwards, and they're like grilling him on it.
There's a tribunal. Yeah. Months afterwards.
You gotta talk to
What
the-
happened
You
there?
gotta talk to the president about it.
Yeah,
You know the president with Gary Oldman?
I know. Yeah,
That's
Yeah, it's very good,
crazy.
he's just. I just feel like I really feel like the Academy might just be like, yeah, let's nominate Gary Oldman for that fucking one
fuck
scene.
that. Fuck that.
One of the things that I think is really funny is before the test goes off, and there's this whole thing about that Oppenheimer's accidentally talked to the most evil man in the world, and you're going to be like,
Oh
who's
yeah,
this guy going to be like? Who can be this evil?
Who?
And it's Casey Affleck.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
your
yeah.
man. Yeah.
I thought
But
that
you're
was
like-
so
you're
fucking
like-
funny.
Yeah, that guy's.
I was like-
that guy's pretty evil.
That was
I
the
was
only role he could get.
I
They're
was
like,
like-
nah,
and
man.
he's really good.
Yeah,
He
but
is,
he is really
yeah.
good. But I was like, oh, you did that on purpose,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because he hasn't really. He's been in Ghost Story, and I can't think of anything else. Ben or Casey Affleck.
Ghost Story, that one. There's one with Jason Segel and what's her name? What's the one from 50 Shades of Grey called? Dakota Johnson.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's in a film with them, but like, no one should be hiring this man.
No.
Like, this guy sucks. But if you're gonna hire him,
Have him play an
Yeah, man.
evil American
Evil
general.
villain. Yeah.
that whole scene is like, and it looks like he has like the least amount of facial hair a man has ever had. You know, like it feels like he shaved too much of his beard,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's like
yeah.
a layer of skin down.
Yeah.
So weird.
So just to go back to the Gary Oldman scene. I really like as well that like Gary Oldman, you know, Truman is like to him like, because Cillian Murphy is just like, oh, I feel like I got blood in my hands, and he just takes out the napkin and kind of hands it to him, and he's like, you didn't make the call on dropping the bomb, I did, which is basically like if anyone has blood in their hands, it's Truman. It's not Oppenheimer
But
himself.
it raises a good question, like, who's worse, the person who like made the gun or the person who
Shot it. Yeah.
or sold the gun? You know?
Yeah, no, Oppenheimer was dead right. He was at fault.
Yeah.
It was his fault entirely.
Yeah.
Truman was not gonna make the bomb. He was
No.
an idiot, like, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe he said all those things. That was all based on like real transcripts from the White House or the Oval Office. You know, like he said all those things.
Did you like how the film was structured?
Yes.
Oh, the kind of like Memento-esque,
It's
like
jumping
everything.
around.
Yeah.
Jumping
I thought it was
around,
very
yeah,
good.
actually
Yeah,
did.
It's
I,
got-
I heard some complaints about it, but like that's kind of how, like Nolan does that all the time. It's like it's not that, like, but it is kind of if you didn't know anything going into the film, it would be kind of hard to follow.
I also think that like what it gives a lot of help with is imagine like those 2 hours was literally just him building the bomb. Like I think that would be a far more monotonous, tedious watch.
Yeah.
Like at least those scenes with Robert Downey Jr. and it gives more context for stuff that happens later on, and it reminds you constantly like you need to remember about the future when watching this film. And the film is constantly talking about the aftermath of the bomb, and it's like, and then even further on it's like, you audience, like you're in this as well, like
I thought you would have forgotten that Downey Jr. is a great actor.
yeah, jeez, Downey Jr. is so good.
He's unreal. Like,
so
he's
good in this
obviously
movie.
been Iron Man since like 2008, and he hasn't done that much dramatic stuff
Yeah,
in recent years. I can't even think of anything. Like, he's been in that sort of IP stuff. Like, it's the last.
I can't think of another Downey Jr. film that wasn't Marvel.
Tropic Thunder.
Like, I mean, like the last
Doolittle
like,
was his last film, and that was 4
Doolittle.
years ago.
Jesus.
Doolittle, and the only other non-Marvel thing he's done, he did 2 Sherlock Holmes films.
Yeah, the first one was good.
Yeah, but you'd forget like before this, he's Oscar nominated already. He was in shit like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, the Charlie Chaplin film.
Oh yeah, I've actually seen that film.
Yeah, and I think he was nominated for that.
I think he was.
He was nominated for Tropic Thunder.
Yeah,
Rightfully
yeah.
so.
Well deserved.
Spectacular.
Well deserved.
But that was the only bit that I found confusing personally, more so because I don't have a clue who he was meant to be.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
No idea.
So it took me a while to get into his stuff.
Do you know what? It actually took me until like it started explaining in the latter half.
Mhm.
That's when I was like, oh, now I understand what this is.
I thought he was a good guy.
I
Until like
thought
the
he was-
last
yeah.
half an
Oh,
hour
what
of
a
the
twist.
film.
I thought he was good.
Yeah, I thought he was a good
Yeah.
guy.
I knew the guy. So because this film, even much more so than Barbie, is like, oh my god, that actor. Oh my god, that actor.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that actor.
Han
Great
Solo?
ensemble, yeah.
What?
Han Solo? New Han Solo?
Oh, I didn't even notice he was in the film.
New Han Solo? Okay, well, he gives one of my favorite performances in the film.
Is he the Robert Downey Jr.
Right-hand
assistant?
man. Yeah.
Oh,
Alden Elric.
yeah. He's like
Oh,
The
yeah,
comeuppance.
yeah.
the comeuppance when that happens.
So good.
Like when Rami Malek, because I was like, why the fuck is Rami Malek even in this film? Like, because I thought that, and then he comes back into it, and I was like, oh,
Kind of
okay.
steals the show a little bit as well.
Oh man, the fucking yes.
Yeah,
When
fuck
that
this
happens,
guy.
it's just like, oh my god, thank fuck this rat fuck.
I feel like, yeah, Rami
Sorry,
Malek.
just also talking about like, oh my god, that guy, your man that's in fucking Prisoners and Suicide Squad,
Damien, the guy with the mad surname.
the guy that always plays the sneakiest rat fuck in everything that
Yeah.
he's in.
Which one? Who is he?
He's the guy. He was the pilot that ratted on Oppenheimer.
About the Casey Affleck stuff.
No, he's the guy that wrote the report and sent it to the FBI.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he was in Batman. He was in Dark Knight.
He was, that guy, yeah.
He was a crazy guy in Dark Knight.
Have
Yeah,
you
yeah.
talked about the Santa Claus on this podcast?
The Santa Claus, I think we have, yeah.
Bernard from the Santa Claus?
I don't know.
Is-
who that is.
No, yeah, it's Melissa. I didn't cop it at all, but Melissa said
Wait,
this
who
as
is
well.
he?
He's like...
Not the like the Tim Allen Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
right.
Santa-
You remember
the Santa
Bernard, the
Claus.
older hair, the elf, and he had the curly hair?
No, in Oppenheimer,
He's
like.
the guy who goes into... He's in a lot of it. He's like Oppenheimer's mate. Like when Oppenheimer does the lecture in... Country was he in?
England or
No, when he was in Europe.
He's in Germany.
Oh, he's the
he's in
big
Netherlands.
guy.
Yeah, he's the big guy.
Oh my god, because Melissa kept going, the guy with the glasses. Like Melissa, it's not
Yeah,
narrowed it down. They all have fucking
He goes
glasses.
in and he goes, I can't wait to see this guy doing like trying to teach in English to all these people.
yeah,
and he's,
your man,
he's
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
loads of the movie. He's really good.
The Jewish guy.
yeah, it's him. Bernard. Bernard.
I don't know who Bernard is, but he was great.
I know
He was
Bernard
great.
is not-
Bernard stands rise.
Okay, yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Because like even like his character, like when he's like when like he's initially having reservations, and he's like, I don't really want to be a part of this because like I don't really know how like morally ethical this is. And Oppenheimer's like, come on, bro, who cares? He's like, all right, fair enough. Fair enough.
He's like, yeah, all right.
And there's like, I don't want to just list everyone who's in it, but Oppenheimer's younger brother, who there's a great scene where
Halloween,
remember? Yeah.
He's the boyfriend of Laurie Strode. He's Laurie Strode's granddaughter's boyfriend.
Who gets wrecked
Yeah.
by
Is he the guy who gets fucking
the-
curb stomped essentially?
and he gets his head stuck in between
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stairs.
yeah.
Yeah,
That guy.
yeah. I was like, God,
I-
Tim!
I
'Cause
couldn't
haven't seen him in
figure-
anything else.
I couldn't figure out for the whole movie
Uh.
who he was,
Uh-huh.
and I was so happy. It was one of those films. It's like one of those few movies where you can spend ages of going through everyone's IMDb
Yeah,
full
literally.
cast
Yeah.
list.
It's like Dead Roderick and all. Like,
Roderick.
actually
I
did-
actually never
We
noticed
actually
him.
didn't even mention the sex
He looks
education
totally
people in Barbie, but also that's another film that was like that.
Yeah, we did a bad job talking
Yeah,
about the
well,
Barbie
fucking-
cast.
Because it's fucking Ryan Gosling's fault. He's
he
just too
stole
good.
it, man. He stole the show.
We talked about Barbie and mentioned one of the Barbies.
Yeah, I don't remember the rest of
He
them.
didn't mention Dua Lipa. This man went, John Cena's in this movie.
No, I said is Dua Lipa in this
Dua
film?
Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
Is Lupa in this film?
But Oppenheimer. The whole
Fucking sorry. Also, talking about scenes that make you go, yes. This is the the comeuppance scene for Robert Downey Jr. Emily Blunt,
he
drag his ass, let her cook. That fucking scene was so fucking good.
He starts going on about what was the number of
16, 17,
Yeah.
18 years. And just keeps interrupting him. And she's like, I don't like how you phrased that question. And he's like, I say, stop stuttering. Keep going. So
that
good.
happened. Like, obviously, that was the one about. I was like, surely that didn't happen, but it did. I don't know.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Bad bitch.
Now that's the one thing with a lot of Nolan's films.
I was just about to say.
The man doesn't know what to do with women. Now, a lot of people. I
imagine there's some complaints about Florence Pugh in this film.
There's
absolutely.
a bizarre defense of how he treats women is because he's been married for so many years or something, and that he doesn't want to put women in a bad light or something because he loves his wife. It was something to do with his wife who produces all his films.
Bad light.
Yeah.
What?
You know, he doesn't know how to talk about women, so he decides I'm gonna ignore them.
Just ignore it entirely.
Wild.
Oh, I think it was honestly. I don't think it's really relevant to the film, because that was the time. But the Florence Pugh stuff is a bit egregious because there is a story there which isn't touched on as much as it could have been. I think it could have added to the film as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he doesn't really go into that. But like that's kind of what it was back then as well,
She's in 4 scenes. 2 of them she's topless, and 1 of them she dies.
Yeah, but she's like so much more important in real life.
Yeah,
like that character.
Yeah,
like, that was his wife.
Did you notice what I think the editing in this film as well is unreal? But when it's showing her in the bathtub, there's one quick glimpse where you can see
looks like
someone's in it because no one knows if she killed herself or if she was murdered. So the way it's edited, there's
you can see a hand pushing her down.
A very brief shot of a hand pushing her.
Yeah.
But the way it's filmed, it shows both.
Yeah, no, I noticed that, and then when I cut back, I was like, did I see that? It's like, there's so much, and fucking Albert Einstein in this movie.
So good.
He's so cute.
Albert Einstein in this film.
He's such a legend, legend.
It's like how the Spider-Man fans reacted to seeing Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
But like when he's in the film, it was one of those moments where I was like, Albert Einstein was alive at this stage? Was he alive that long? Because in my head, Albert Einstein is a much older scientist than actually having lived through World War One and World War Two, and also was alive in the 50s.
Yeah.
He's really good in it as well.
Yeah, he is good.
He's the whole core of the film, kind of.
He's kind of the scientific morality of the film.
Yeah, and he goes, bro, you fucked up.
You fucked up.
Yeah.
But I do, that whole plot thing, device of, at the start of the film, you see Oppenheimer talking to him, you don't hear what he says, and you kind of you take Downey Jr.'s word for it that like, they're talking shit about him. But what actually happens, which I'm sure, I don't know if you want to talk about it now or not, but what I think the ending is stunning.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to talk about that as well.
It's
so good.
Fuck it, we'll talk about it.
Let's talk. Let's get it out. Let's air it out.
We can jump back and forth in this film.
Let's air it out.
So I had my complaints about Barbie's last line. Having seen the ending line in this film, I was like, that is how you fucking end a movie when you have a political point. Yeah. Holy shit.
That is a good point. Barbie kind of bottled it at the end.
The truth comes out. The Barbie fans have stopped listening by the
God,
you waited until nearly.
I hated Barbie.
You waited until nearly 2 hours into the podcast.
Barbie kind of bottled it a little bit, but that's just
maybe
I'm asking too much. But this film is kind of like it does. It's more so like this film kind of because it's so long. There's like little bits dropped in and out where you're like, this is like the fucking nuts and bolts of what Nolan's trying to get at, and he ends on one of those kind of points,
Oh.
which is a really great ending.
In Barbie's defense, the subject matter was a little lighter.
Exactly, yeah, that's the thing.
I know. Patriarchy's pretty serious, bro.
So I walked out of the film, I was like, there's no solutions offered here in Barbie. The patriarchy, what am I supposed to do about that? But then I was like, oh, it's a comedy film, you know? It doesn't make any... It's like, yeah, you can't... Obviously, it's a totally different set of circumstances. But the way Oppenheimer ends, it's like so... Like, he drops that bomb. And, like, obviously, been building up to that the entire film. I was kind of confused as well, because they kept going back and forth to it. I wasn't sure exactly when that meeting with Einstein happened. You know?
Yeah, it's before.
It's way after the bomb. Like,
But you meet him twice in the... Oh, actually...
It's way
'cause
after.
Yeah, you meet him twice.
We're at
yeah.
that scene like 3 times.
It's not terribly long after bomb, because it's when Oppenheimer is influencing American politics on how they're going to engage with the bomb going
It's like
forward.
his first day of the job, though.
But it's before. I think it's before the hydrogen bomb has been dropped, and it's obviously way before
I
Downey
don't think
Jr.
it is, because he's still in whatever... What's that town called?
Los Alamos.
Yeah, when he finds out about the bomb being dropped. But when he talks to Einstein at the ending of the film, is when he just moves into the house to work with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's before the hydrogen bomb.
But was that not... How many bombs? I'm not good at
The
history.
hydrogen,
I think the hydrogen bomb was way
bomb
after.
is in the 50s.
Oh, so not the Japan one.
No,
Oh, okay.
because that's what your Ben Safdie's like. Oh, we should make a hydrogen bomb. And I was
Yeah.
like, shut the fuck. We're not doing that.
He was really pushing for
Yeah,
that.
he was. But he was right, because the
Yeah.
hydrogen bomb is even more powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the super bomb. They kept calling them super bombs. But no, the way they end it, as in like, it captures the whole. It captures the reason why I really enjoyed the film as well.
Mhm.
You know, without being like I enjoyed the film because of this line, but like it just captures the whole film, and then it ends. It's just really well done. It's like this whole idea that, like I love when a film kind of like extends itself and like leaves like it's like an ellipses at the end of the like once the credits start rolling. It's like Oppenheimer talking to Einstein, fucking Albert Einstein, about how you know, he feels like he might have destroyed the world. Like this whole theory of like spontaneous ignition. When they're working on the bomb, there's this idea that there is a slim possibility that once the ignition went off, that it would trigger a chain reaction of like subatomic events that would ignite the entire Earth's atmosphere. And then he's like, and obviously it didn't happen. But he's talking to Einstein at the end. He's basically saying that like maybe it was correct, but just on a longer scale, you know. And even like the overview shot of the Earth just kind of like peeling over with like this fire. I was like, whoa, this is intense. I thought it was an amazing way to end the film.
Incredible ending.
Yeah.
But like with Nolan films as well, that a critique which I think is fair is that a lot of his endings are is it subjective when you can like the ending of Inception is like, did he wake up, did he not?
Yeah,
The end of Memento, what does he do next? Dark Knight, cliffhanger. Like there's no opinion you can have coming out of this film except we're all fucked. It's not subjective at all. At no point does Nolan try and make it out like maybe this was a good thing, you know.
Maybe it'll be
A
all right.
lot of filmmakers would have taken. It's kind of cowardly to do that, to try and appease people, but this film's like message is one of the few Nolan ones that is concrete, which I think makes it stand out. And then just the look in Murphy's eyes and the face,
The horror.
but it's funny, you know, straight after that he just walks up to Downey Jr. and it's like, don't worry about him. don't worry about it.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, that ending like dialogue scene, it was like one of those moments where it was just like, oh, this scene alone has kind of justified the whole fucking film to me.
Yeah,
like whatever
honestly.
grievances I have about this film doesn't matter anymore, because like because bro, I checked my phone. I didn't check my phone. I checked my watch, because I'm not pulling out my phone. Sorry, side note, I forgot to mention this during Barbie. There was a dude beside me watching Barbie, pulled his phone out multiple times to text. And it was some fella who like was sitting by himself. And I kind of want to lean over and be like, are you sure this is the film that you want to be texting through, bro?
You gotta call it out.
Do you want to do this? I didn't, because it wasn't that annoying, but I did notice it.
I don't mean on the podcast you gotta call out. I mean in the moment.
Oh yeah, in the
If
moment.
someone's, if someone's on their phone, shut that shit down.
So I'm going to be talking about this on the podcast later.
Yeah.
But
Name and shame.
But
Yeah, what was his name?
What do you look
fuck you,
like?
Kieran. But fuck. I forgot the
You're looking at the time.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the time, and I checked my watch because I was starting to feel the length of the film, and I was like, I'm fairly certain I'm only like 40 minutes into this film, and I looked at my watch, I was like, I'm 45 minutes, and I was like, okay, right, okay, and I didn't look, and I looked at it again, and I was like, okay, an hour and 20 minutes, we're nearly at the halfway point, and then I looked at my watch one final time, and it was an hour and 45 minutes. I was like, okay, we're nearly at the bomb, we're fine. Once that bomb drops, I actually think the film picks up after when the bomb's dropped, because then you get the Robert Downey Jr. stuff, you get the Emily Blunt scene, you get the investigation, you get the look of like how America will take its heroes and fuck them up for like vaguely not conforming, and then you have that final scene. There's like one of those scenes was like, oh, this is like justified the vague pain I had in that second act over like. Because I kind of found like the middle section of the film similar to Barbie. I was like a little bit bored by it. Not like extremely bored, but like a little bit bored. Mostly because I don't think it's like visually impressive. And it's just like acting and we're building the bomb. And then after that though, that's when the film I think like really picks up and actually becomes great.
I have a question, and it's a bit of a dark question, but I was thinking.
Yes, I would drop a nuclear bomb.
Oh, after this movie, it wasn't that long ago in the grand scheme of things. Like, people would still be alive who were alive then.
Mm-hmm.
You think about like how much has happened since then, and the ending of the movie. When do the Paropod boys think that the world just fucks it?
What do you
And
mean?
we get Oppenheimer's bad ending.
The nuclear holocaust.
Yeah.
By the end of this century, guaranteed. I guarantee it.
Well, because I'm thinking, well, it's either that or it's global warming. One of these two things is going to kill us by the end of the century. So
Global warming will lead to the nuclear holocaust.
yeah,
That's what's going to happen. Though it won't be like the atmosphere catching fire and stuff. It's just the metaphor, the visual metaphor. But yeah, end of the century seems like a fair bet.
So, like, how many years is that? Less than 80 years, you think the world's gone?
Oh, I think there'll become some kind of nuclear war.
Damn.
Well, I think it's like Chekhov's gun, but in real life. So you have the weapon. No one's used it since the events of the film.
yeah, maybe they're just like, I mean, what would it look like if we did it now?
yeah. Like honestly, like it's just gonna come up again.
She came
And
up
that's-
last year, like literally, like Putin being like, "I will fucking do this."
It's upright. Like even this week, one of the Russian commanders talked about if Ukraine attacked Crimea, they'd use tactical nukes. So obviously, tactical nukes aren't like full on nuclear weapons, but it's like the ratcheting effect that like Oppenheimer foresees in the film. It's like once you have that weapon, you can make it smaller and you can kind of justify it. Like if it's used tomorrow, for the sake of like just public peace, people will be like, oh, this was terrible, but it's not the end of the world. But there's a very clear escalation there where it does become the end of the world very, very quickly. And like people, states have it, like dozens of states have nuclear weapons. It's there. And the fact that he unleashed it in the world is what the driving force of the film. And that he has it's a chain reaction. Like even, like when he goes on about quantum mechanics and stuff at the start, I haven't fucking breathed about quantum mechanics.
Oh, no idea.
No one in that cinema did. But just the kind of the way it's kind of introduced and then can be reapplied as a metaphor to what's happening at the end of the film or to what he's thinking at the end of the film. It's like this is the fact that the bomb has been tested and effectively worked and then used. Like this is kind of the first stage of a chain reaction, which humans, on like an individual basis can't kind of understand because it happens on such a long time scale, and so that's the first part, and then the chain reaction keeps following on, and then you have the end scene with the visual metaphor of the earth burning over. I thought it all kind of like comes together. It's such a dark film the way it ends, but I think it's just really important the way they kind of articulate, because it hasn't really been a subject matter for a long time. It's just like the 80s.
Yeah,
you don't really have films about.
I think that we talked about this on the podcast. I think we were talking about like there's no like nuclear war films. I think it was when we were talking about Threads.
What's the animated one? Wind Blows.
Oh, when the wind blows.
Yeah,
and then,
and Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah.
But Grave of the Fireflies is just about like Japan getting fucked.
But yeah, it hasn't been a thing really for like since the Soviet Union fell, because then it was just America doing whatever it wanted, and now it's like it's not, it's not going to be like that in the future. Probably it's going to change, and it'll come back into the fray. This will probably be the first film of many that'll talk about it or kind of deal with it. But I think it'll only get more important, like the whole idea. The themes I talk about in the film, they'll only become more relevant, more important, more applicable to just kind of like how people think about the future as well.
Yeah.
It's very dark, but at the same time, it's like oh shit.
I was like, oh, well,
Here we go.
But it fucking hit hard.
Yeah, it hits hard. It's a very, very good, very dramatic film. What do you think, Liam? What do you think?
I think we'll be fine.
Hopefully.
I hear what you're saying, but we're gonna pull through.
Yeah.
We'll get.
I mean, life will go on.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, it won't be the end.
I mean, life in like the broadest term. Life.
Some kind of life.
I
will
don't know
exist.
if humans will be around, but the Earth will still be there.
Yeah.
You never know.
It'd be like in threads.
We'll be like weird little mutants going around.
Well, like that's the thing. Like the world's gone to this point where we're that like used to bad news and weird shit happening. A man told Congress last week that there's aliens.
Aliens.
I meant to talk about this.
Yeah, it's on the dock.
We're bringing it back up in the question section.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
Aliens are real.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one's reacted to this. More people have talked about Barbenheimer.
Oh man, actually,
it's fucking aliens.
Yeah. We need to talk about that because that your reaction that you had, like, yeah, aliens were real, whatever. I was like lying in bed. I was a bit gargled, and I was talking to Melissa, and I was like, I feel like I should be having a bigger reaction to the fact that people are talking about like, yeah, no, aliens are real. I feel like I should have a stronger reaction over this.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like there's so much possibilities for ways things can turn to shit.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe aliens come and fuck us up before we can do anything.
Yeah. But everyone's just we'll get to the aliens.
We'll get the aliens.
Don't worry, yeah, we'll
Do we
get
have
there.
anything else out about Oppenheimer?
I think that it is a banger.
Nice.
It's an absolute banger.
It's a banger.
I have to go see it again though. I definitely didn't have the right conditions.
I'd be
I want to
curious.
see it in IMAX.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what a regular screen or a galactic screen to an IMAX screen.
Because we're gonna go see it in 2D, and I was like, because I had to see it for this.
Yeah.
Last night I was like, I'll go see it in 2D. I didn't really want. Or
What
like,
do you mean 2D?
or whatever,
You want 40x time?
Yeah, 40. I want 40x Oppenheimer. You just die when you walk into the cinema.
They just give you a little bit of radiation poisoning.
But like, it's supposed to go to a standard screen, and then the Galactic came up. And I was like, oh, that sounds grand. Little did I know, the Galactic is dead and gone. Dead and gone. I don't even know if the standard screen is any different at all. But I have to see it in IMAX. I'll see it in IMAX. I need to pee anyway, so.
Alright, we'll pause. Oh, no, wait. Me and Liam will keep talking. Okay, Liam. What, I'm going to ask Mark this when he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
What was your rating to this film?
I think this is 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
I think going through Nolan's work, I think he has a lot of 5-star films. In fairness, changing my metrics system.
Such as?
I would say his 5 stars are Dark Knight, Prestige, Inception. And
Prestige? Okay, no.
I rewatched Prestige.
I've never really liked the Prestige.
I think Prestige is a good
I
film.
think I've seen it like twice.
I like the Prestige a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's his first one where it's like, yeah, this guy's special. I don't think it's on the same level as Oppenheimer, but I think he has 4 5-stars, and Dunkirk's very close.
Yeah.
But I think, what do you call that thing? Like the Sight and Sound 100 thing. You see like Dunkirk popping up on that in like 40 years.
Oh, you can see.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Not personally. Like there's something holding me back with that film, but Nolan has a very interesting career where he does a one for me, one for you with the studios. Like, say in between his Batman films, each one, like Prestige was between Begins and Dark Knight, and then Inception was somehow between
whereas now he's established himself enough where it's like,
yeah, you can do anything now.
Like, one for me is also a one for you.
But I'm happy to see that he's gone back to this level of darkness, because in his early films I was talking about earlier, they are noir, they are dark, not to this degree.
Mm-hmm.
Like Memento's a grim film.
Yeah, it
when
is.
you look at it, and so is Insomnia. And I'm happy that he's like, I know people are like, I'd love to see a Nolan James Bond movie. I want him to stay as far
It's
away
Tenet.
from IP.
Where he got that? It's called Tenet.
Yeah, Tenet is
And
kind
it's-
of James Bond,
and it's
isn't
a
it?
good movie. I like it. I don't care if you can't hear what they're saying. The people are going backwards. It's pretty cool. You have a guy going, I ordered my hot sauce an hour ago. But no, this is, even though like Dark Knight and Inception hold such a special place in my heart, I just don't see how Oppenheimer isn't better than them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've had such a visual reaction. Like, when you see Inception, you're not thinking about, like, oh, what if my dreams and the world? Well, that's what we're literally talking about. We have a film so dark, Mark thinks we have less than 100 years.
I already had that opinion.
This just confirmed.
I like
it.
this film because it confirms my opinions.
The opinion that first came up after watching Barbie.
Yeah, I was like, this
Yeah,
is
like,
it.
we don't got
This is
long
the
left.
end.
Yeah, I like, now that the more that we've talked about this film, because I said at the start, I think that like there's not much between this and Inception. I think that actually, no, the more that we talk about it, the more we talk about like how grand the scope of this film. Like, oh, this is just years better than, it's literally just miles better than Inception. I think it is just easily his best
I
film.
don't think any other director could have done this film, because either.
Paul Schrader.
But
Yeah,
Paul,
honestly, Paul Schrader would be the only other one.
but
I
he
think
couldn't
of.
do the effects.
No, he couldn't do
side
the
of
effects.
things. You know, like, I feel like
You
a
need someone that,
director, you'd either go too much into the characters or you'd go too much into the explosion.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
Michael Bay could have made this movie.
Oh hell yeah, I would watch that. I'd watch that. In
Just
a
10 different
heartbeat.
perspectives of the bomb.
It's literally just 2 hours of the bomb going on.
I had something else I was gonna say. I'm very curious to see what he does next,
That's
because
the thing with Nolan. Every single time, it's like, I don't know what he's gonna make next.
it was last 3 films now. Been Dunkirk, Tenet, Oppenheimer, and they're also
I imagine he'll go back to another like sci-fi-esque movie,
another
because
sort
the
of-
film before that was Interstellar, wasn't it?
it
was Dark Knight Rises.
was, and then Inception's kind of sci-fi. Inception is sci-fi.
Yeah.
Mm.
But he hasn't done a space movie? You know, kind of like a. He could go like
He
a
hasn't done a space movie.
Interstellar.
Oh yeah. Oh shit! Yeah, yeah. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I was gonna say
He
he
hasn't
could
done
make
an
his-
underwater movie. That's
Yeah. Listen, that would be cool.
Yeah, Avatar 6.
Avatar
James
6.
Cameron's retiring after Avatar 5, he said.
Yeah.
so. There's only one man that can take the helm.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's crazy. Like, obviously, it's because of the so media campaign. But this film at the weekend has already crossed $400 million worldwide,
That's
which
surprising.
is nuts.
Yeah.
It's already more than Tenet made, and Tenet, you would argue, is, well, not argue, it's a way more accessible film on the surface.
On the surface. Yeah.
Mm.
You know, if you're looking at the posters and stuff, I feel like more people would look at both posters and go, "All right, I'd go watch Tenet."
Yeah.
over this.
Yeah.
But
It's
Also,
made
the
its money back.
runtime is
Yeah.
also.
It's in profit now as well.
yeah, but,
So he's justified himself. And the turnaround was insane. He only started making this film a year ago.
Mhm.
About a year ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shooting started
What?
less than a year ago. It's wrapped
That's
At
at
nuts.
the end of 2022, yeah.
They released the script you can buy on Amazon today, but he wrote it in Oppenheimer's perspective, the entire script, which is like, this guy's crazy. This guy is kind of guy who would have a hitman brother,
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
and his other, it says uncle or his other brother is in some of his movies.
His other brother writes the movies, isn't it? Or helps him write the
Yeah,
movies.
Yeah, he
sorry,
does.
sorry, but
I
I,
think
feel
so.
like they have a relative who's in them too. Like this
don't know.
uncle, Jonathan's his brother. Hold on.
Yeah, Jonathan
Ask-
Nolan, he's the
Ask,
writer, yeah.
ask Mark his
Well,
score.
what would you rate this film, Mark?
What I rate it? 5.
5.
5. I
Five
don't really give
results.
5s though, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but you
wouldn't
know,
give it a 4 though.
in this-
I think it's better than an 8 out of 10.
yeah, it's a.
Yeah.
It's like, I think in your scale, it's like a 9.
It's a 9, yeah. It doesn't. It's off the scale for me.
Yeah.
It's in between the 4 and a 5.
Yeah,
Because,
well, I give it because immediately after the film, I was like, I think I prefer Barbie, but then as time went on, I was like, Oppenheimer is the better movie,
Mm.
and then that just ultimately ended in, oh, you just prefer Oppenheimer. Just admit it, Owen. You prefer Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Don't let the woke masses tell you otherwise. It's okay to like.
There,
Guy stuff.
Their uncle is an actor who's also called Jonathan. Or just John Nolan.
Johnny
John
Nolan.
Nolan.
Yeah, John Nolan, and he's in Following Dunkirk, and I think he's in Dark Knight, one of those Batman films as well. There you go. There's some prop work happening on the podcast. There's prop work happening on the pod.
There's supplies being sent around.
This podcast only an hour. Imagine
This is easy.
We've been talking for ages. We still have an hour left of Oppenheimer.
I know.
Here.
Yeah,
That's how long that movie is.
Fucking hell. I know, it's even because I went downstairs at the break. We'll move on to greener grass, I guess, now. In a bit.
We're at 2 hours and 10 minutes.
About 2 hours and 10 minutes. It is now 25 to 12.
Jesus.
Okay,
I think we should skip.
let's call it. We're not doing greener grass because this podcast will literally be 3 hours if we keep
I
doing
did
that.
so
And
much
Oppenheimer.
prep. I've done so much prep for Greener Grass. I'm kind of upset.
I know, Liam. You sent me all your
I've
notes.
not seen this film, Mark. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, I think we should skip it.
Just
We're
for
going to-
context, I wasn't being lazy. I thought I would be late to the podcast, but I've been here for 2 hours.
Yeah. So,
I
we
was
should-
also extremely late, so.
so greener grass will instead return to next week. I might even actually have to rewatch greener grass just because
I might rewatch it as well.
it's a fucking weird movie.
It's very accessible as
So
well.
long.
It's on. It's
An
an
hour
hour
and
and
a
a
half.
half.
Thanks, Paropod recommends. I will watch this movie. You can use that for your ads.
There we go.
We will, of course.
Okay. A returning section of the podcast.
Long awaited. Many requests. Many
requests.
such. Many
we
such
have
cases.
written letters
Yeah.
from people asking us, please, where's... Oh, Mark, how do I ask you a question? You're not...
People forgot.
You haven't done the listener question
People
section.
forgot.
When did you last check your email? That's my first question.
Oh, I'd never check the email.
Long time
That's
ago.
good.
There's so much fans.
Liam,
Don't say that to
Liam,
fans. Will stop.
That is the first good question of the podcast. Most of the time, though, the podcast email is just Instagram and Google. And I accidentally signed it to Sheen on that one time. We got an email from that. No, we don't have any questions.
Owen supports fast fashion. Confirmed.
If you have a question,
Let's go.
you can contact us via Instagram or on Twitter at paro_pod, or you can email us theparopod@gmail.com. Our first question is coming in from Carl, and Carl is asking, Barbie or Oppenheimer, which lived up to the hype of it all?
Both.
Both. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Both. They
think
both
both.
actually full on lived up to the hype.
Very
Yeah.
rare in this day.
Yeah,
and age.
it's unthinkable.
Two
Unthinkable.
bangers.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. Both. They're both great.
Because I think Oppenheimer actually exceeded my expectations.
I'm the
Because
same. I'm the exact same.
I thought that, I know what Oppenheimer's going to be like. I know what it's going to be like. And then when I watched it, I was like, it is what I thought it was going to be like, but it's so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a bit more of like a Dunkirk-esque, like a really well done historical kind of film. But from what I like, or how I watched it, I felt like it was way more than that.
Yeah,
You know
100%.
what I took from it. I thought it was great. More than lived up to the hype. Barbie, I didn't expect to live up to the hype either, and it really did. You know, great crack
Barbie
crack at
was
cinema.
a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer was funnier than I thought it was.
Yeah, Oppenheimer. Matt Damon came in with the singers every now and then.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't talk about Damon enough, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was great. He was great.
funny thing about Oppenheimer though, just going back to it, I couldn't tell you anyone's name outside of Oppenheimer and Einstein.
Nope.
No one.
Not
Yeah,
one.
I remembered Florence Pugh's character's name for like a few hours after the film. I was like, oh, that sounds really. And I looked it up. I was like, oh, this should have been in the film more. And now I've forgotten her name. So, I know.
Any thoughts on living up to the hype?
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
shit,
Oh,
lightning.
it's the
No
lightning
way.
for as our predictions.
There we go.
Oh shit.
It's starting now, folks.
Any thoughts on the hype of the two films? Name?
I think it's kind of what we were talking about earlier, that it was just a rare social media thing that paid off.
What do you think with the studios now trying to make this a thing?
Saw Patrol.
Yeah,
Have you
Saw
seen this?
Patrol,
Have you
stuff
seen
like
this,
that.
Mark? Saw Patrol.
Saw Patrol, no.
So the Paw Patrol movie 2 is coming out the same day as Saw 10, So they're trying to make it. It's mainly the studios trying to make it more than actual people. It's not
Yeah.
organic.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Studios now trying to make this happen.
I do think that studios will take the wrong lessons from this.
100%.
And especially, like, there's not that many films. See, what worked in this film's favor, or these films' favors, is that they're polar opposite movies. I don't think that you'll ever get a situation like this, maybe even in the same year, kind of, where two big films are completely different. You know, now I don't know Paw Patrol, if Jigsaw, if there's traps and shit in them.
Yeah, like, because I think, like, hearing Saw Patrol, it's just like, oh, don't try that.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work either.
The audience of Oppenheimer and Barbie, people can go to both films. No one is doing a fucking double bill of watching Paw Patrol 2 and then watching Saw 10. Like, no one's fucking doing that.
Test me, I'll do it.
Liam will, yeah.
Like, outside of like very specific people, no one's doing that. I think it's really lame to see this attempt trying to replicate itself, because this was so organic.
Have you done a lot of double bills in cinema? I do a lot of double bills.
No, we only done like
I've
marathons.
never done it. I've done it on a plane. That's all I've ever done.
I did Creed 2 and Wreck-It Ralph 2 same day. Comes
Fuck
to
that.
mind. Yeah, not great. And
Wreck-It Creed.
And I did you ever see that Robert Redford directed film, The Old Man and the Gun? You remember that? No. Kizzy Affleck's actually in it as well. Like this old person bank thriller thing. And I did that with the train movie, Mortal Engines. And I fell asleep during both of them.
Jesus.
What the fuck is Mortal Engines?
Oh my god.
Is that what I think I've heard of this film.
It's like Planets, but on wheels. Peter Jackson produced it. It was only like 4 years old. It's a huge bomb. It got like 200 million to make, and it made peanuts.
Really?
Yeah. Mortal
That's
Engines.
surprising.
It's the next Paropod recommend, I heard.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have to say that anyone that watched Barbenheimer as a double bill is an absolute fucking psychopath.
I think it's...
I couldn't have done it.
If I rewatch them, I'd like to do it in one day just to see.
Which film would you do first?
Barbie.
Yeah. I thought that Oppenheimer would be the better choice, but Jesus, the tonal whiplash of that final line and then being, "Welcome to my Mojo Dojo Casa house." No. No.
It does get better.
Although I did say to Corn that the true magnitude of I'm Ken can only be appreciated when you see the horrors of the patriarchy from Oppenheimer.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, you said that you had questions written to you.
I have two. So my first question is from Liam. I'm not gonna lie. I just had questions. I had questions I wanted to ask the guys. Coincidentally, Mark kind of went into it earlier with his galactic screen, but I was curious about your thoughts on screen technology and advancements in it in general. Now, the reason I'm asking this is I was in Canada in May, and we're going to go see the new Guardians of the Galaxy film. And without knowing, we hadn't realized we booked into like a special screen. It's called Screen X. So Screen X is a cinema screen with 3 projectors. So you have your one, the main screen in the center.
Napoleon. It's like Napoleon, Mark.
Yeah, Napoleon. I was saying this to Carl the other day. He just didn't care.
Okay, fun.
Well, you have your projector.
That's a throwback to episode 1. Keep going.
Oh.
Yeah, it literally is.
You have your projector in the center, and then you have a projector on both sides of the screen, like the walls, projecting onto them to make it more immersive.
Yeah.
By having like you can look there and you can look there. I probably shouldn't have done that example when I was talking.
Mark, describe what the ending shot of this 7-hour Napoleon film from 1915 or whatever.
Oh yeah, Napoleon. Abel Gance. I think it was 1930 something. It was late 20s, 30s maybe.
Keep talking.
Early 30s. Yeah, Napoleon by Abel Gance. Do you know it at all?
I listened to PowerPod.
Yeah. We talked about it once. We'd never watched the full thing because it's so fucking long. It's like 5-6 hours long. But yeah, like the end of Napoleon is like it turns into
1927. 1927.
27. Okay. Yeah, at the end of the like it's like in the early days of cinema, like they're experimenting with all these new forms, and like back then, cinema audiences was way more like it was more like a pub or like a beer hall where you'd walk in and people would be like reacting to what's happening on screen. Apparently, it was like it was more like carnival-esque, is how I've heard it described. And at the end of Napoleon, which is this 5-6 hour film, so you spend your entire day basically in the cinema, like drinking and like just hanging out with your mates. At the end of the film, it brings back basically the entirety is like bring your attention back to the film. It has like a triptych. It's like the French flag. It's like blue, white, and red. 3 different screens projected onto the wall.
With 3 projectors.
3 different projectors, 3 different images playing at the same time. All displaying like Napoleon's like last stand or something like that. But like the rest of the film isn't shot like that at all. Like there is, it does experiment with like different kind of like different colors and different ways, or different aspect ratios and different kind of technical configurations. But like at the end of the film, it ends with this huge like tricolor projection onto the cinema screen. But like it's so weird to think about that happening in 1927. But you would never until I just started now.
Doing it now.
You would never see it. Yeah, you'd never see it now. Really,
the way they
notice
do
a
it.
difference?
Sorry.
Did you notice a difference?
Yes, because they don't do it for the entirety of a film. So you know when you watch a film in IMAX, and sometimes in the IMAX film scenes, you can see the what do you call it, the bars at the top,
like
black
the
bars.
letterbox.
Yeah, and they go up to cover it during the IMAX.
Oh,
scenes.
sorry, no, yeah, the curtain or whatever.
Yeah, so during like big scenes in the film, the 2 projectors turn on again, and it's
weird.
so distracting. Like you can't. It's basically it's cutting off bits of the film because you can't look everywhere at once.
yeah.
You gotta pick a side, you know. But my question was, do you think that the way cinemas are now is ideal, or is there any like innovation that you'd like for them to have that they don't?
It
have
needs to
now?
innovate. Needs to innovate. You know, like I love a quiet cinema. I love the way cinema is right now. You come in, and I don't want anyone talking. I don't want anyone near me. You know. I don't want to hear a whisper. I don't want to hear I don't want to see a phone screen. You know,
give me
anything
headphones in the
That's
cinema.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I think headphones would be a great
Yeah,
addition.
I
Just
think
give me
it would
headphones.
be good for a certain setup, but at the same time,
but like you need also speakers to go boom, stuff like that. Like
you want to feel the bass in your bones. You know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I love that stuff where it's kind of like it's just you watching, and that's it. You're quite passive. But at the same time, you read about like back in the day, even that example of Napoleon, and like all of early cinema basically, like all Chaplin and Buster Keaton and stuff like that. It's obviously not like proper films as they are now, but like people will be sitting in a big hall just like talking and just like hanging out with their mates while this film plays on a big wall at the back. It was way more interactive, and people would like interact with what's happening in the story in real time. Obviously, that wouldn't be ideal for me, but I think it'd be good to at least experiment with it.
Have the option.
Yeah, to have the option. Even the way that you're describing there, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, was it?
Yeah.
3. It's like a triptych for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Sounds like it sounds like kind of a bit needless.
Headache inducing.
Yeah, the film isn't made for that. If they made a film that was like, you have to go see this because we're gonna have special technology where you can
only experience it at the cinema.
Yeah, you can only see. Like I love. One of the big things I love about Nolan is obsession with like the event. You know, even Tenet, a bit irresponsible, but like he was insistent on. Yeah, you have to go to the cinema to watch this. Even Oppenheimer, I'll probably never watch Oppenheimer after it leaves cinemas again. You know, like Dune, Avatar, stuff like that. I like it. Like actually got movies that like insist on being seen in a kind of like a public space. Like that's a great thing, and like just leaving cinema as it is, obviously it's kind of failing, and this Barbenheimer thing is a bit of an anomaly. So like I think they need to change it up a bit. You know, go for a triptych here and there. Go for a film that you don't need to constantly be watching, or like that's just a bit lost. I don't know, something you could try something definitely.
Yeah, I don't know, because like if you add more stuff to it, stuff can just because I think 3D is a gimmick. I don't think it's particularly. Having said that, Avatar 2 was enhanced by the fact that it was in 3D. I
Yeah,
will
definitely.
die on that hill.
If every film took 13 years to come out,
Yeah,
we'd be onto a winner.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill that 3D was necessary for Avatar 2. But like, there's so many different films and stuff like that where like it's like I didn't need to go to the cinema to see Insidious 4. I didn't need to do that.
Yeah,
That was of your own accord.
What?
No one made you.
I know,
go
but I
see
didn't need to do
PS4.
that. Like this, I feel like there needs to be certain films that really benefit from going to the cinema to see, and I think Oppenheimer absolutely, because you need that sound, you need the fucking huge screen for it. But also on the flip side, Barbie benefited from being in the cinema because you could feel the audience engaging with the film.
Yeah.
Like there's a very specific, like I think that's kind of what you were talking about, like just having it on, but like you're more engaged with that type of stuff. Like there needs to be films where everyone's kind of in on it. Like when we did the Evil Dead marathon and we were in the cinema to see that, you can watch the Evil Dead marathon at home, but being in the cinema and being in that community watching that film, that sort of stuff is more important than like a technical aspect needs to be changed. But then on the flip side, you have Oppenheimer and Avatar 2, where it's films like you do need to be in the cinema to really experience these films. I don't think there needs to be like fucking 3 projectors going off. I think the IMAX screen, big fuck off screen with the, you know, iSense audio, stuff like that. That's all you really need to be like, listen, it's not going to be the same if you watch it at home. Not the same way that you need fucking 3 TVs to watch this fucking film to get the same effect. But like, just stuff that's like, yeah, it's not like, who the fuck is going to the cinema watching a film and enjoying it in 4DX? No one's doing that. That's so unnecessary.
No, I refuse.
Yeah,
Refuse
I will
to do it.
never do
Have you ever seen one
4DX.
4DX?
No, we're debating trying it, but it stands for everything I'm against.
I've tried it twice.
Is-
I've done it twice.
What were the movies?
It Chapter 2
Weird.
and one that I can't remember. It wasn't a film that was kind of suited. It was like an action film, maybe. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't really suited to 4DX.
Did you like it?
No, like it was kind of like it was like watching the film in a standard screen, but you just kind of had like annoyances around you. You know?
Like that's not.
It didn't really work. Like it was really high tech, but like talking about like technical rollout for like these kinds of films. 3 projectors is one thing for fucking Napoleon in 1927. It's like, I don't know, like upgrading every cinema screen that you want your film to be played in to have a fully immersive 4DX experience is just not going to happen. You're just going to have flaps hitting out your ear or like mist spraying out of the seat in front of you. And that's the extent of it. Like that's all it is.
I think that Gran Turismo looks fucking dog shit.
From gamer to racer.
I would watch that as the one film I would watch in 4DX.
I might be going to see that next week.
Go see it in 4DX.
I think it'd be shit in
That's-
4DX. In
that's
3D, I think it might be.
But you'd be
tolerable.
like in your car going around.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. He's like, oh my god, I'm a gamer.
Finally. Finally, we did
Finally,
it.
you
I'm
can
a real
vicariously be a gamer. It's like
Yeah.
the levels of.
yeah. It's like meta and like the layers that are going on. It's
Yeah.
like fucking Inception.
I can pretend to be a gamer.
There
Oh
you
god.
go. My last question. Is this the longest podcast you've done, and should we stop?
2.5 hours. I
This
think
is definitely not the longest podcast.
No, I don't think it is.
We've hit 240 before.
We've hit 240,
Yeah,
have we?
back in the day, yeah, we did.
Jesus. Did we hit 2 hours? Would only just been us hanging out.
We used to regularly go over 2.5.
That's nuts.
That was back in the early era.
I feel like I've done another shift at work. I gotta
I
say,
know it drains you for the next day.
when
you
the
know?
Paro boys invite you on, you gotta put on a
You gotta-
performance. Then you know
you
what?
gotta
I will ask my last performance, but we'll keep it brief. Performance? That wasn't the word. My last question.
Last question. Okay.
My last question. I'm just gonna narrow it down to 3.
Mhm.
Outside of Barbie and Oppenheimer, are there 3 films from this year that are your favorite, or the 3 best?
3 best.
Yeah, I could have phrased
Um,
that a lot better.
Honestly, I don't think I've seen the only other film besides Barbie and Oppenheimer that I've seen from this year is Mission Impossible 7.
Did you like it?
I thought it was really good.
It's a good film.
Honestly, yeah, you've seen it.
it's
Yeah?
really good.
I really enjoyed it. I did. It wasn't like with Oppenheimer. I kind of felt how long it was, for various reasons. It's not as exciting, obviously. Mission Impossible. Actually, I was going into it and I was kind of like, this will be a bit of a slog because I was kind of tired going into it, and then it just flew in. Like when it ended, I was like, oh, they're gonna have some kind of like this is the beginning of the last act or something like that. But it just ended. And it's a really good action movie. Really good.
A film that has eaten shit because of Barbenheimer.
I know, yeah.
That's
the
hilarious.
worst
That's
release
so
date.
fucking funny.
Oh, it's so good. Tom Cruise.
It's a great movie though. It's a great movie.
Really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's a really good movie.
I vote Mission Impossible for Powerpod series because they're good.
They are, but like they're all kind of the same. Is the only thing.
Yeah.
Fast
you
and
know.
Furious. Can't be arsed.
This is originally to anyone still here on this journey.
This actually is this. Okay, so the raw of this podcast is 2 hours 26 minutes. If we last for another like 5 minutes, I think it would be our longest episode.
Oh, don't you worry.
And the only reason,
Last.
our longest episode was Michael Myers is a daddy. And
That's our most popular episode.
And the only reason why that was longer was because we did a regular podcast and then Sophie came over and we did a
The Twilight
mini
one?
podcast.
Yeah.
We did a mini podcast.
I
I
listen.
wasn't there.
Which went on for like a half an hour extended on, so that's the only reason why.
That was a hilarious add-on though.
yeah, it's just
I remember listening to that.
needed
I
bring-ins.
pissed
It was
myself
such
laughing.
it was such a sharp turn.
Yeah, I pissed myself laughing at that last
I'm telling
section.
you gotta keep our listeners on their toes, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
before I ask Owen for his favorite film, just one's fine. Okay.
That's all I have.
Yeah,
I can
okay.
only
That's the
give
only one I
you. I
watched.
can only give you one. So
Originally,
I'll give you two.
I did suggest that we do episode covering the entire Fast and Furious franchise, but it got rejected. I just want everyone to know that I'm still annoyed.
Fucking right, I got rejected. It's like I'm not doing that.
The entire
Entire
series.
thing, spin off and all.
Not
Hobbs and
doing
Shaw.
that.
That'd be like a month worth of movie watching.
Oh Jesus!
It's 10 movies.
10 movies.
I'm not watching 10 movies
No,
in 2
it's
weeks.
11 movies.
I'm not watching 11 movies
we watch
in 2
like,
weeks.
We watch like 3-4 films a week.
Come on, guys. Those rookie numbers. Come on.
It used to be better, but it will improve now because Owen doesn't have a job anymore. So this is gonna.
You don't call Mark out like that.
Yeah, what the hell?
So I'll be.
I might be have a job soon as well. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, it's true.
You know what? I'm gonna quit my job in solidarity.
Yeah, we'll set up a Patreon. We'll be grand.
Yeah.
That
just off the old Patreon.
That doesn't benefit me, so I might stay.
Don't worry, Liam. We'll get you on. We'll become a more regular thing, and then we can.
Yeah, Owen, what's one other film from this year?
Okay,
That
I'll
lives
give
up
I'll
to
give
the
two. I'll give two.
Shit.
Spider-Verse, which has slightly gone down now that the second film has been delayed
A year.
Indefinitely.
indefinitely.
Yeah.
Indefinitely.
As of this week, it is delayed indefinitely, which means the earliest we'll get this film, being generous, is 2026.
Which disgusts me.
2026?
Because
The way the timeline.
it was going to be delayed anyway, because apparently the animators were treated like shit on it.
Yeah.
And what they want for the next one's even more.
Uh-huh.
So like it's weird because it was meant to come out in March next year,
Yeah.
and now they're saying like there's no release date.
Jesus,
They
that's
were meant
crazy.
to announce a release date like within days of the indefinite one, but there's been
Because
nothing.
Indefinite. I've never
What
heard of that.
annoys me about that is that I assumed that film was basically done. I thought they had done like a James Cameron job on it, but then Avatar 3 is also
That's delayed to next
Yeah.
year as well. Yeah.
which is like
We can't have anything.
why is
And
that film
Dune,
delayed? I thought
Dune
that-
might be delayed as well.
Yeah, but also it might not be now because it might
Mm.
have worked. It might have turned itself around because basically Marvel's in the mud at the moment, and the Marvels was meant to take Dune's IMAX after 2 weeks, but now they said we're not doing that, so it has a 6-week IMAX gap with no competition.
Yeah, I seen that. They
Wait.
should definitely take that.
So
yeah.
it's either like, will people come to see it based off the last one, or will people come to see it based off promotion and those stupid fucking press junkets?
Yeah.
Although we are getting A24 films,
We are, because
they've agreed to the terms,
Yeah.
so we can get A24 films.
Oh yeah. They're fully on board with the
Yeah.
unions.
Yeah. And what was your other film?
Evil Dead Rises.
Good film.
Yeah.
A film's so good you added an S to the title.
Evil Dead Rise? Evil Dead, is that what it's called? Rise.
I could be
Evil
making
Dead Rise.
I could be making a fool
No,
of
surely it's
myself.
Rises.
No, Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise. That's a
It's
terrible title.
It's in my top 10. Yeah.
Evil Dead Rise.
Rise. Evil Dead
That's a
Rise.
terrible title.
Good film. A film we saw together. Me and you.
Oh, Mark, have you seen that film?
I haven't. No.
I thought that you saw that film.
No,
I haven't
Oh,
seen
I
it.
remember you.
We went to the
seen
premiere
it.
and I took a piss beside the director.
Really?
Lee Cronin.
Yeah, Lee Cronin.
Lee
Yeah,
Cronin.
yeah.
Seems like-
Yeah, it was with Liam. I thought it was
It
with
was.
Mark.
I am.
Oh no, we saw Wicker Man.
I
It was
invited you to
Mm.
come see it with
You
me.
did.
Last minute.
great.
Good
great,
film.
Great watch.
Good
Great film.
And
Okay, because we'll finish it off because we're gonna make this. We will officially make this the longest episode. And you two have already agreed that you're gonna taxi, so I don't fucking care.
it's 12 o'clock. There's
12
no,
o'clock now.
unless we are walking.
It's
in
midnight on
this
the
rain.
dot.
I have not had my dinner.
Yeah, let's walk. Actually, you know what? I actually can't afford it, actually.
Yeah.
Let's just walk.
Oh, and I have my work here with me. We'll set up camp.
Yep, we're gonna.
Fine.
Me and Mark haven't done a past 12 podcast in I'd say 2
A
years.
long time.
Paropod After Dark.
Yeah, this is when it gets
This is
spooky.
now you can say the F word.
You can finally curse.
Which one?
We can finally talk about.
We've been swearing no.
No, I don't.
Liam,
I
you can say
don't.
whatever slur you want. Don't worry.
Yeah,
No one
yeah,
listens
no,
to
whatever
that.
slurs. Yeah, yeah.
None.
We talk about sex as well.
Hold on, Mark.
No,
Mark.
thank
Mark. Liam, we are not speaking until you say a slur.
Yeah, you have to say a slur.
We'll be here a while. We'll be here a while.
We'll make it the longest episode.
No. I've already compared Oppenheimer to having sex. Is that not enough? Is that not enough?
Okay, boys. I think it's time to talk about the aliens.
Oh my god, I forgot about this.
This is a whole different.
Oh god.
We're
We need
another
to
half an
include this
hour.
in. This should have been our intro, but we
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
So
We gotta keep this brief.
we're gonna keep this brief. This is a 10-minute conversation at max.
15, 20 maybe.
15,
No,
20.
I am so hungry and working.
Firstly, do you think it's real?
Aliens? No,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it's not real.
Do you know? So your man coming out saying that America has found a what do you say? An
UAP,
No.
OAP.
no. He didn't. No, it was a non-human biological
Species.
species.
Could
or
be
something.
animal.
Could be a
Like-
dog.
Could be. Oh yeah, could be Leica. Could be Leica. She went to space. And she came back
She's
down.
returned. They found Leica.
Yeah, it could be. It's so non-specific. I don't think it's real though. To be honest, honestly, I don't think it's real.
Yeah, I think that. I don't know.
I think it is.
I have such mixed thoughts.
The
on it.
way
I
I
really
wish it
don't-
was real.
I really
Aliens
want it
were
to be
my
real.
thing when I was a kid.
we
They're
have
my thing.
had so many in our lifetime. We're all aged 24. Are you 24, 25? 25. You're also 25 on.
I'm younger than you.
Are you?
Yeah.
I thought you were a year older. There you go. We're all men. But when you think in our lifetime, how many things people got? Oh, this is once in a lifetime. That hasn't happened before. You know? Could you imagine even 5 years ago thinking there's going to be a global pandemic?
Yeah.
Why is aliens out of the question?
Because a pandemic has happened before.
Yeah.
Aliens could have happened before they had no cameras.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know.
I just don't see, like, we find new things every day. Sometimes it's a feeling, sometimes it's a thing. Why not now? An alien.
I don't know.
See, because I think what's giving it more credibility on my side is the fact that there is the stuff that's like the fact that they had to change it from UFO to UAP.
Yeah.
The fact that they do that because they have been experiencing shit like that, like the Tic Tac thing that was flying around.
Yeah.
There has been people injured by things that they don't know what the fuck it is, and them being like, well, we think it's Chinese spyware, but also like how advanced, like from my side of things, like how fucking advanced is the Chinese spyware that you think it's
If they're that advanced, then fucking surrender now. Like.
yes, forget the nukes. This is fucking
Yeah, forget nukes. Like I Chinese spyware, that sounds like a lot of bollocks. So remember that balloon that was flown over the US? It was a Chinese spy balloon. They came out like a month ago. Like, yeah, there was just a balloon. I don't think the Chinese have. I think it was like a weather balloon. I don't think the Chinese had anything to do with it at all. There's definitely not. They don't have fucking UFOs flying over the US. I think tying it back into Oppenheimer, military industrial complex just gone mental, and some people actually don't know. It's like, remember they're talking about compartmentalization,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so like only a certain group of people, even though there's definitely projects in the US that even the president doesn't know about, you know, only a certain group of people know, and anyone who sees it or like experiences it outside that certain group is gonna be like, what the fuck was that, you know? I feel like that's the most likely explanation. But
The thing that makes me not agree with it is that the guy who came out and said that it happened looked kind of crazy. Like
Yeah.
he's doing
He
this thing where he's doing the press conference
I didn't
after,
see.
and he zones out and he just stops talking. It's like the end of Oppenheimer and he's just staring into space for 30 seconds.
He thinks he's in a movie.
Yeah, that was my thing as well. Then when I saw clips, I was like, oh,
This guy is crazy.
why does it have to be someone that looks like this and speaks like this? Why couldn't it be someone that's much more credible?
It is the most paro the pod has gotten.
Is this? I don't know. We talked about like the actual conspiracies, the actual real life thing of the Turnus and Taxes.
Yeah,
stuff
that
like
was
that.
second episode. Yeah, we talked about that. That's real as well. Yeah.
That which is one like this family that have just seemingly survived, like this royal family that survived like the Nazis and
There's loads. The von der Leyens. That's another one. Look into that. Ursula von der Leyen. She's worked with the Nazis. Worked with industrialists. I think I talked about it in that episode.
we did. Yeah,
There's loads. There's
We've
all
also
the
talked about,
noble families in Europe.
MK Ultra and the actual experiments that they committed on people.
Yeah.
My final question on the aliens is: if they came, would they be sound?
I'd say yes.
But would we be the aliens all along?
I'd say we wouldn't be sound to them.
We would be alienating.
Oh jeez, we would
Yeah.
fuck those aliens up.
Yeah.
We would do awful, awful things to them.
Yeah, I feel like they'd
Which
be
is
nice.
why I'm really hoping that we don't have them, that they didn't crash, and the Americans got their hands on them because they're going to do awful, awful
I
things.
don't know. Indiana Jones 4, they didn't do much with them. Put them in a box. Anyone see that?
No.
Anyone see,
Of course.
anyone see Indiana Jones 4?
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Bro, I saw that film in cinema, and I went to the toilet, and I
Nice.
came back, and there was aliens on screen. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
A recommendation based off this conversation would be the film Asteroid City by Wes Anderson.
Oh, yeah, that film came out this year.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Good
Talk about a
stuff.
film that came and went.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Worth watching.
sure it is, man.
Are there aliens in it?
I will not confirm or deny.
Oh, there so totally is
Oh,
not.
there definitely aliens in
It
yeah.
definitely isn't.
That's a congressional hearing answer. Yeah.
I'm not under oath. I can say what
There's
I
no
want.
evidence spurred in
Yeah.
here.
You know,
Because I think the fact that it's not being made that big of a deal, and like there's not much news going on outside the writers' strike, from my knowledge.
It's the war and all.
Yeah, but that's old news.
If
That's been on
it's-
for ages.
yeah.
Born.
That already happened.
Yeah, that's already happened. That's been going on for
Does
ages.
Pee Wee Herman mean nothing to you?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the fact that I'm not getting bombarded with it on TikTok as well is also kind of.
But maybe that's what they want.
maybe that is what
You
they
know?
want.
Yeah, under the radar.
Would you
It's
trust?
like, oh yeah, we
the video?
already admitted that.
Having said that,
before.
the Jeffrey Epstein news wasn't that big of a news either. But like,
I feel like most things aren't that big news anymore.
Mm.
Everything kind of swept under the rug.
mm.
Yeah, except for the Ukraine invasion.
But even that,
That
like
was it.
after
Well, that's
a
'cause,
few
like,
months, like it's
aren't-
still happening, and people were like,
Yeah, people just don't really.
manufacturing consent right there.
That's it, man.
It's like
Chomsky.
we need to fucking flag this shit. Look at the
No,
evil
Chomsky.
Russians.
if you want real news by real people, Paropod.
Parapod. We will
Parapod.
deliver the news. We will deliver news from 2 weeks ago to you. 3 weeks.
3 weeks after the fact.
3 weeks.
I just want to say, hopefully, if I get invited back to the pod, I want a 3-hour pod. That's the next.
Of course, yeah.
next
We're nearly there. We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes, but
Good God.
Yeah,
we
we're just
will
about to
leave
hit
it at
2:40.
that.
Okay.
Next episode, we will talk about greener grass, and various other things.
Fast and Furious.
I'm after realizing now. We might record a podcast next week. No,
Next week, I can do next week.
can you do next week?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's do it.
because I'm on holidays, and that means that there'll be another break. And we need to talk about this fucking greener grass because we've already delayed it.
I can do it next week. That's no problem.
Okay,
There's
right.
millions of listeners right now.
Millions.
You're
The
gonna have
They're on
millions.
tenterhooks.
Millions
You
of listeners.
promised. You promised a month ago.
Listen, Danielle is out there listening to this.
Danielle, God bless you.
Hi,
We owe
Danielle.
it to her and Poddy. We owe them. We owe them
Poddy.
this.
Pleasure.
Okay, Liam. Any final words?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's good.
He nodded. He
Liam,
nodded.
Liam nodded. Mark, any final words?
Good night. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.